Alrighty, everybody, we are back. We're preparing for our second series of the day. Should be fun, should be good. Let's see where we're going. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see our table is up to date. 3 teams sit at 0-2. Chili Mountain, who won a map? They did it! They have already improved. They've already beaten where they are at last season. They have 2 more map wins than they did at this point last season. And 1 more series win if you count the Icebreaker tournament. 0 more series wins if you are just counting main season. If they can get their main season series win before week 5, we know that they have improved. Right now, though, they are in 6th place, tied with Onyx. Tied with Onyx. They're looking good. They've managed to fight their way back. Chili Mountain, how are you doing? Onyx, welcome to CCL. I'm sorry. Granite Gaming, they are back. They have taken over a little bit from Chili Mountain's position. But you'll notice there are 2 teams here that still only have a single number, a single 1. On their match scores. Both teams at 3-0. Both teams 1 win, 0 losses. We are of course talking about Simplicity and WildHeart Esports. Both these teams sitting at the precipice. Grand finalists for Season 1. The 2 best teams, quote unquote, in CCL. If Season 1 is to be believed. And neither one has dropped a map yet. That will change for at least one of them. Simplicity at the end of Season 1, 4-0'd WildHeart. The games were not easy. But they did it anyway. And as such, Simplicity are ready to try and show that they have what it takes. Masquerade back in that main tank role. Cure, Legendary, the Zeratul, and the Leos really causing problems. Okay. I'd love to talk to you more about Simplicity, but they have vanished into games. There we go. Legacy. When Legacy jumped in for Simplicity, their fortunes turned around. And I don't mean that as an insult, but they really did. Simplicity became the team they are now when Legacy started supporting for them. And their fortunes turned around very heavily. Lutano able to take over some offlane roles when Cure needs to mix it up a bit with those Zeratuls. There's plenty of potential here. Whereas WildHeart Esports, PickKid, aka Justing, very flexible tank, but this season has actually been playing a lot more normal tanks. A lot of Diablo has been played by PickKid this season. Bud's back in here. No funds this season. They have a substitute in the form of Mason Blaze. He is a ranged assassin or a support, so plenty of options to mix up the compositions of WildHeart Esports here. We're going to be starting off. WildHeart batting out Alterac Pass. Simplicity removing Battlefield of Eternity. And Simplicity, they have map pick. They have chosen to take us to Sky Temple with WildHeart Esports getting first pick and first ban, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready to jump into game number 1. We are getting ready to go. I am excited. I hope you are excited too. And soon we'll be able to jump on in. Get started. I am so hyped. This has been the map I have been looking forward to. I'm actually glad I got to cast it live. My Sunday commitment got moved to next week, so next week I won't be casting live. I will be casting the VODs at some point during the week. But I am so hyped. This should be a great series. This is the finals rematch. How much have WildHeart improved as they were able to play in a professional league in the off-season of CCL? They were able to, of course, play in the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division. Simplicity, they split. They did a bit of practice, but they did not play as a team in this time. WildHeart have spent much more time together than Simplicity have at this point. Will that make a difference? Will it show? We're going to have to find out as we await for game number 1 to start us off. We're preparing for our first game of this best of 5 series. I hope you all are ready. I am excited. This should be exciting. If you enjoy my casting, drop a subscription, drop a donation. The biggest thing you can do is to spread news about this stream. If you like my casting and you like a little bit of my casting as opposed to the mainstream, then make sure that people on Reddit and Twitter who are talking about CCL know that there is another option available. And if they want to jump in and watch this co-stream, then your boy would appreciate it. Speaking of which, I realized, oops, I don't have co-stream on the tags. Let's quickly fix that. Whoops, no one noticed. It's fine. It's fine. Only broke the rules a little bit. It's fine. Fixed. There we go. Alrighty, so we're getting ready for game number 1. We're just waiting for the map to materialize, and we will be underway. There it is. Sky Temple is our first game of this best of 5 series. And we are getting it underway. Let's go. Need to clip some things in that vid. Oh, for the Jixie vid. Ah, I missed that message from earlier. We're going to see a Hogger. That's the first ban out here. Once again, WildHeart getting first pick, first ban. This is the map choice of Simplicity. Lucio kicks to the curb. WildHeart now taking out Medivh. We know they can play it, but instead they're just going to remove it this time. Sticking with their standard roster. No Mason Blaze yet. Uther going to be the next ban, and that's an immediate early Sonya pick. With Hogger off the board, Sonya gets that value. Simplicity, sensible choice here right now would be a Leo or a Diva. Rexar can counter Sonya, so that would be a solid pickup as well if they were to commit to that. Malthael's okay into Sonya, but actually loses a lot more these days. So they're just going to leave their offlane for later. They're going to start with Cassia, and then bring out the Brightwing, prioritizing that burst support. This does leave Malfurion or Stukov, or both, over to WildHeart. So plenty of options there for them. In terms of globals, Falstad is still available. It's a very big map. They get Stukov. I'd love to see them get the Falstad here. They go for Sylvanas. Not going to go with that Falstad. Kaibo, how you doing, bud? I'm glad you're liking the cast. Very appreciated. Sylvanas on the board. No global potential for WildHeart yet. Choosing to stick with just really good team fight potential. They got some good push here. Sonya, that wave clear for Zergling is going to be absolutely insane. Stukov, great zoning for the objective. Sylva's, of course, Sylvanas. They ban Lili. That's interesting. Lili would usually be the fun's hero in this composition. I'm curious. The Lili is an interesting one. Either way, we're going to see Zeratul banned away. Gotta ban that Lili. Gotta ban that Lili, apparently. I'm more than a little confused, but there it goes. Zeratul also taken out of danger. Zeratul would have been a very sneaky pickup for Cure. Definitely something they would have done. Simplicity. There's that Diva. And Johanna. With Hogger out of action, the likelihood of Lutano taking over another Bruiser lowers down a bit. Hogger's definitely one of their top ones. So a second ranged hero becomes a little bit more likely here. WildHeart. Falstad's still available to them. They can still get that global. Tyrande and Yorel. So that's main tank Sonya coming in here. I would expect. Main tank Sonya, offlane Yorel. And then I'm going to guess Buds on Stukov and Weary Day on Tyrande? No, Buds on Tyrande, Weary Day on the Stukov. It's my guess. There's that Falstad. Double globals, full simplicity. That's what I was a little afraid of. WildHeart, there's a lot of gank potential against them now. Let's see the swaps. So it is Tyrande for Buds, Stukov for Weary Day. I can't remember which way round I said, so I'm going to predict I got it right. Can't remember if I was wrong, so I'm certainly right. That is the way we do it. Alrighty. We have our draft. Let's get this going. The Tyrande Stukov, the burst potential is absolutely ridiculous. Whoa, that's the wrong screen. That's the draft screen instead of the webcam screen. Fixed it. Everything's fine. So, WildHeart Esports, the Tyrande Stukov Sonya main tank. And this is definitely a wild draft. That's fine. We know WildHeart like to do really crazy stuff like this. They would like to mix it up sometimes. The Sonya main tank is definitely nothing out of the ordinary for them. The Tyrande, that's rarer. We're seeing real rare draft memes at this point. It's their first Tyrande of this season. I'm checking last season now to see if it was played then. Last season. No Tyrande. So this is WildHeart, at least in CCL's, first Tyrande play. Let's see if it works for them. We're going to be heading in, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 1 of this best of 5 series. On the left, current champions, Simplicity, Masquerade, Legacy, Hosty, Lutano, and Cure. Legendary team. On the other side, Stormvision champions. It is going to be WildHeart Esports with Unaverted, Pitkid, Weary Day, Zergling, and Buds. Oh, that bug's still in the game. Wonderful. Always glad to see. Yep, just going to quickly... Buds is actually just going to remount after birding. See if that fixes it. Nope, still bugged. Wonderful. How long has that been in the game now? That's like a 4-year-old bug. Zergling sets up for the jump. No, Masquerade will step up into range and immediately get bopped. We're going to see True Shot Aura for Tyrande. Makes sense. If you're going with a Tyrande as a second support, you might as well build her max damage output. So that passive damage increase for Tyrande, the ability to big buff Sonya and Sylvanas, you're going to get really high damage output. Makes sense. Lutano already down into the bot lane though, able to get a big chunk of XP, but hasn't denied any for the opponents yet. Wave will be cleared up. Experience will be gathered by WildHeart Esports. Putting themselves in a lovely position to get themselves a lead in this game if they can. For now, Zergling versus D.Va. This is a matchup that eventually Sylvanas will, eventually Yrel will win. Due to the fact that she has significantly more damage and sustain than D.Va does. Whereas D.Va is more reliant on sustain and soaking. Siege camps grabbed for both teams. Weary Day and Masquerade doing the soaking. The kid's slamming away at the minion wave. It is still a slam build Sonya. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Not going to go in for anything really fancy. Pitkid just slamming away at the minion wave. Clearing it out. It's a Might of the Banshee Queen for that Sylvanas. Lutano, standard auto attack build these days. Condemn is good. Nicely done. Clearing out the Siege Giants. Black Arrows had a little bit of duration left, so they utilize it to just grab a little bit of tower damage before backing up. Big blind into a Condemn. Pickett takes some damage. Buys time for Unaverted to Haunting Wave out. You can see here Zergling winning that fight for now, but does still have to back up the towers. Does have some good sustain, but not enough sustain to eat an entire minion wave. Hand of Freedom for the Yrel. Keep that mobility going, keep that movement coming. Bruiser camps grabbed for both teams, giving them the extra little bit of pressure. Inner light for that Cassius and burst healing. Finished, but not captured. So they're going to go for the delay. Owl sees it. How aggro do they want to go? It looks like they're not going to try and dive over the wall, and Cure didn't even want to take the risk, already goes for the cap. Yrel is now bot lane, soaking up. Falstad is double soaking mid and bot. Yrel trying to do the same. Both teams put most of their attention onto top lane. Another unstable poison for the Sylvanas, clearing out the minions, and already Black Arrows to try and disable the Bruiser. Masquerade and Cure, though. Coming in, they've got that rush down. Extra wave clear for Cure. Falstad grabbing experience, for grabbing shots from mid-temple, leaving Yrel to soak alone. This will be a slight XP lead for the members of WildHeart Esports. And Jinxie, thank you very much for gifting 5 subs to the community. Congratulations, Horfoja, Zotti TV, Killmeister, hey, you're still around. So thank you for leaving your stream on. Zol and Squeaky Wee, congratulations on your subs. As we're seeing Cure finishing out the rest of the channel, leaving Falstad finally able to go and soak in. Untitled takes a big chunk of damage. Tyrande poking in. Again, thank you so much, Jinxie. Very appreciated. They soak away. Demand making it so we don't have to watch the main stream. We salute you. Thank you very much. Very appreciated. Poison arrow coming out from the, sorry, poison spear coming out from the Sonya. Tyrande mixing up the build a little bit here. I mean, the build is already mixed up. Going to be going with the Elude's Chosen still. That's still such a strong talent. But also going with the Huntress's Fury. Basic attacks only splash to nearby. I don't know why it says only. Basic attacks splash to nearby enemy heroes. Basic attacks that splash from Huntress's Fury also give cooldown reduction for Light of a Loon. Trying to spread out that Tyrande damage. It's going to add to really high damage numbers once you get to that Darnashian archery if you wish to go that route. Condemn from Masquerade. Slams coming in from Pit Kid. Lots of damage unaverted, trying to poke away at Masquerade. Pit Kid getting a good spin, doing a good damage output there, but a great lurking arm onto Legacy, preventing any extra kill potential. Savadas, by the way, going with that Lost Soul, so it's big burst damage here. Going with the burst and spread damage. Owls coming out from multiple angles. There's a Mind Control. Very cool. Mind Control with a Starfall. That's a lot of damage output. Micro Missiles. Gust. Blessed Shield. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Ones that can be changed. Again, Mind Control could sometimes be different, and we could sometimes see Leap. And we are going to see the Valkyrie. That is a little bit different. We don't see that as often. Unaverted. Targeted down a bit. Even Lutado going to fly in, try and focus him down. Now Lutado is in trouble. Burns the Gust. Trying to keep away from the gate as Blessed Shield comes out. Big focus onto Stukov, but he's tanking through. Valkyrie pulls in Buds, but it's Diva the first to fall. Buds self-healing gets out of here. Zergling from around the side. Lutado escapes over the wall and abandons their team as we see the Cassia going down. Massive spear into the slam. Legacy's taken out. First 2 kills of the game. Grabbed by WildHeart Esports, and they immediately disable the fort, grab it themselves. Buds even gets some extra shots, and they are going to smash their way through this. Very nicely done. WildHeart giving themselves a great situation here. Picked and Unaverted, pushing it a little bit further. Stukov had to back up a little bit, didn't want to get themselves caught out. So as I said, just clearing the minions at mid-4, which Johana pushed up later, as she did not die in that main fight. Great escape by Buds. We're going to see the Bruiser Camp picked up. Yrel finishes off the bottom temple. You don't want to leave Buds on there alone for too long. Very easy chance of being a gankable hero. Mid is still dying. Another minion wave made its way in, as it's all defense on top. What a Mind Control from over the wall. Johana is eliminated. Pitkid still piling on the pressure. That's going to be the Bruiser Camp just absolutely wiped, losing the mages already. Falstad flying away, just trying to get to that siege camp as fast as possible. They really want to pick this up early, but Zergling gonna see top fort already started. And it looks like Falstad won't even start the siege, just going to try and soak up bot. They don't want to risk it. Diva looking at the enemy siege. Very sneaky. Zergling sees it. Falstad's in range. Now, how long can Yrel keep those two here? Because if she can keep them there, Mind Control over the wall. Valkyrie pulls them into the gate, though. Iron Skin is burned and they'll escape. But yeah, if Yrel can keep them there, then this is a 4v3 in favor of WildHeart. But it looks like Diva was able to port back, meaning this keep will survive. The 4v4 will be enough of a defense. Zergling kills off that siege camp very quickly. And the value is gained by WildHeart Esports. They do still take the lead there as they got a fourth from it. But Simplicity were able to make it back. They were able to defend. Not looking too bad. Zergling going to get zapped. Hand of Freedom. Not able to help out all the way here. Still running though. Mini stun. Fend. And just gets out. Good rotation. Able to get out of danger. We see the remorselessness coming in from the Sylvanas. Micro missiles, mind control. So close. We're seeing the pressure onto the D.Va, but backs away. Able to stay alive. Zergling's a little bit isolated. Gonna pull back and get out of danger. A lot of focus onto Zergling right now. Pitkid also took a lot of damage, has to back away. We can't really see who the Loon's Chosen is on. Top still taking damage. Just research from Celogs. I just realized something. My father always watched football, soccer on mute, the TV muted, and the radio broadcast on. That's smart. Said it was better. Same applies to this. Tetcher casting better since there's less small talk and less back and forth. With co-casters, it's cleaner, less chat, less clutter. I see that's going to be clutter or chatter. I like clatter. That's good. I guess clatter still works as a term. But I like chatting with co-casts from time to time. But it's always easier to solo cast because you have an easier time setting up the stream. I prefer duo casting in general, but it's easier to solo cast any day. Boss going to be pushing into the bot lane. Bot temple. Couple shots were grabbed by Stukov, and he's coming up for the numbers advantage in that mid objective. Mind control is dropped. Valkyrie lands on Yrel, but she tacks through, and Masquerade focused down and picked off again. We're not going to see a Darnashian archery. No big burst build for Tirana. Instead, it's quickened blessing movement speed for that Sonya to chase people down, and Celestial Attunement, baby. Removing of stuns, silences, and slows from healed targets. Talent that makes Tyrande so good. So strong. We see them push on in. Sent themselves up. Big knockback from Cure. Couple micro missiles, but he's already getting caught in the silence. Doesn't have self-destruct yet. Cure might die before the self-destruct comes out. Yes, he will. Mech gets taken out, but unaverted. Got absolutely dunked here. Boss focusing the core. Cure is focused down here. That's one less defender. There's the big burst of damage from that level 1 for Buds. They've lost 3 members here. Zergling over the wall, and that is going to be game number 1 to WildHeart Esports. And we're going to be honest, it wasn't that close. It wasn't that close at all. WildHeart taking a very convincing game number 1 even. Setting themselves up in this first game of the series. That was just really solid performance from start to finish. 7-0 in terms of kills. An 11-minute game. Felt longer. Wow. 11-minute game coming in there. 44k damage from the Sylv. 37 from the Sonya, and everyone else just sort of did their own thing. Only 16k damage from that Tyrande, but it didn't matter. The extra 39k healing, the damage output was still reasonable, the stuns, it was still enough. It just did not feel that close. WildHeart gaining a lot of momentum this time. Setting themselves up nicely in game number 1. 0 deaths on any of them. Killing off the tank 3 times. Cassia twice. Brightwing once. They never got Lutado because he was split soaking. They got Cure once. Again, nothing too out of the ordinary in terms of builds. Only one that's really a little different is Buds. Because that build is a little bit out of the ordinary because you don't always see that that extra True Shot aura at level 1. That one's a little rarer. And you don't always see the attack spread at level 7 as well. So very interesting to see, but I guess it all adds cooldown reduction. So it worked out in this case, but you would see a lot of Kaldorei resistance or Moonlit Arrows for the extra cooldown reduction that way. Very interesting. Very interesting that they went that way. Everything else is pretty ordinary, honestly. Nothing too far out of the ordinary for the side of WildHeart. Simplicity, again, nothing too far out of the ordinary. It's all basic talents. No one's really deviating at the moment. The meta is not set in stone because we're seeing cool stuff like Chen and stuff like that showing up in drafts. But we are seeing less variation in terms of talent builds a lot of the time on a lot of heroes like this. So, we're going to be waiting to jump into game number 2 of our best of 5 series, with WildHeart taking the lead. Can they be the first and only team this week to go 6-0? As they won their week 1 game, can they also win 2 more in a row and take a 3-0, making themselves in first place? Here is the current table, so you can see where the standings stand. That is a terrible sentence. Me, good job. 30k and Storm are tied in first place right now on 6-1 because they both lost a map. If WildHeart can 3-0 Simplicity, they will take first place. We will have to see. Next map chosen by WildHeart is going to be Infernal Shrines. This will be our map choice. Very solid. We look at win-losses for these teams. Let me go back to Season 2, because I'm still on Season 1 statistics for them. For Simplicity, on Infernal Shrines, 10 games, 70% win rate. Very solid for them. WildHeart, though, 2 games, 50% win rate. I knew Simplicity's wasn't right. For some reason, it didn't change back to season. It changed back to Season 1, even though I told it Season 2. There we go. It's Simplicity, 1 game, 0% win rate. Yeah, that would have made no sense. I stand where I stand. I stand where I stand, and that is my standing. Understand? I don't have a joke. I don't have a follow-up. I was trying to come up with something, but I could not think of anything. Got it. Clipped your game. Nice. So, we're getting ready to jump into game number 2. Infernal Shrines is the map. Simplicity opting for first pick and first ban to put themselves in the lead in this best of 5 series. Or, sorry, to even up the score. Whereas WildHeart, they're looking to close this out. Let's see what they can do as we prepare for our second series. Hello, stream. Do we have it? Are you able to put links in chat? No, I do not allow links in chat. They are very much abusable. It's very much an abusable thing, so sorry, I do not allow links in chat. We have Infernal Shrines. Infernal Shrines gonna be popping up. Simplicity first pick, first ban here. That's why you asked. I appreciate you doing that. Saves you the timeout. There is one link that is allowed, and it is d.va. That is the only link I'm pretty sure is allowed, unless I forgot to whitelist it, because I'm pretty sure I whitelisted it, but I'm not sure. WildHeart Esports. Let's see what they start off with. Oh, well, good job. Yep, they forgot who was first pick. Whoopsie daisy. Back to me. Oops. Oops. Unlucky. Unlucky. Oh, well. Alrighty. We're going to be getting ready to jump into game number 3 game number 2 as soon as possible. Yeah, Jinxie gives you a sub, Zotty. Feels good. Alrighty. If you are enjoying, maybe consider joining Jinxie and supporting the channel and drop a subscription or a donation in this stream. Consider it. Maybe. Maybe show some love. I am not paid to do this. I am not being paid by CCL, and this stream is currently not sponsored. As such, any subscriptions or donations via bits or the donation link below are very appreciated. Infernal Shrines, we're back. They got the right first pick this time, I expect. Yep, there we go. Simplicity, first pick, first ban. Let's get this going. So, D.Va, banned away first this time. Simplicity were the ones to play it last time, but do not pick it up this time. Everyone spam hearts for Jinxie, because she is love and she is life. WildHeart Esports. Hogger is sort of moved once again. I don't know why Hogger is French in my mind now. Every time I say Hogger for the first time in a while, it always comes out as Le Hogger. Simplicity. Second ban. So far, Uther, Lucio, Chromie, Medivh, all these heroes have slipped through the ban phase to this point. There goes Lucio. That leaves Uther available. Will WildHeart bite? They don't. They ban Sonya first. Hogger and Sonya both removed. This would usually, for a lot of teams, be a windmill slam on on Uther. But there's Chromie available too. Cassia, also solid. Quite high up there. Medivh, also still available. The options are multitudinous for simplicity. They decide on Cassia. WildHeart now. Uther available. As we said, Chromie still up. They got Uther and Medivh. Alrighty. Going for all those bannable heroes. So how do you make a comp like this work? They have the Uther, they have the Medivh. How do they turn it into something? May and Malfurion. Very solid pickups. That's a lot of that's two of the best zoning heroes for zoning the exit to portals. Very smart pickup here. Zeratul would have also been good. Just try to jump to the back and kill Medivh. Always solid. If you can consistently kill Medivh, then that's a pretty solid Medivh counter. He can't shield if he's dead. Going to be seeing Maiev taken out as well. A WildHeart special, although a lot of other teams are running it. They're one of the first teams to run it repeatedly with great success. In the main tank role, no less. Making a Zul'jin and Leoric. Very solid setup here. This might end up being a Zul'jin main assassin with no other assassins other than Medivh. This could be an Uther main tank, which would turn this into Uther main tank, a healer, Medivh as second assassin, and Leoric. But they could also run this with a second ranged hero. And have, or just a standard main tank. We're going to see Junkrat and Malthael coming in. Malthael going to try and just bully out Leo. The Junkrat also very disruptive. Even more portal denial. They are 100% in on just countering Medivh. But it's still a solid comp. They still have basically everything they need. They have burst, they have poke. And there it is, that second healer. So that's Uther main tank. Medivh, Zul'jin assassins. Leoric offlane. Now, will Malthael be going for the anti-heals as he's into the double healers this game? We'll have to keep an eye on that. This will probably be a Tormented Souls game because Last Rites will get absolutely bopped. We'll have to see. We're going to be loading into game number 2 of this best of 5 series. Can Simplicity even up the score, or will WildHeart put themselves at match point? So, we're going to be getting ready to jump into game number 2. Who will come out on top? You know what, predictions? I always forget them. Let's set one up now. Let's remember that stuff. Start a prediction. Start a prediction. Who will win game 2? Simplicity or WildHeart? We'll give you 2 minutes. That's the loading screen, a little bit of in-game time. So here you go. Who will win game 2? Simplicity or WildHeart? Prediction has been started. Send out those channel points and tell me who you think is going to win game number 2 as we head in to that game in question. Infernal Shrines is the map, and we are underway. On the left-hand side, Simplicity, Masquerade, Lutano, Legacy, Cure, and Hosty. They are back. They are prepared. Let's see how we get started. They've got that Malthael. Potential for anti-heal. Insane amounts of zoning with Stukov, May, and Malfurion to try and deal with the Medivh from this team. WildHeart Esports, Buds, Zergling, Unaverted, Pitkid, aka Justing, and Weary Day. They are underway. Will WildHearts be able to 2-0 this best of 5 and set themselves up for match point? Ossian Renewal for that Leo to start. Sapphire for the Deckard. That could lead them into an Emerald. And we're going for Staruther. Going to go with that Hammer of the Lightbringer for Pitkid. Zoning Blizzard for May. Boom Pow for the Junkrat. He's going to be facing down a lot of traps. Likely going for a full trap build this game. Bud's able to gain quite a few stacks, though. Very good. Cure makes their way up to top lane. Says hello. Trades a couple hits with Zergling. Rotation to mid. Nice little poke away there by Unaverted. Masquerade going to be targeted down. Backs away. And will stay alive. Big blind. Current stacks 2 for the Zul'jin, 3 for the Medivh, 4 for Cassia. Cassia starting off very well. And of course 15 for Uther, but he's now on a Merc camp, which means that will stack up real quick. Just keep autoing, keep stacking. Leo has to Wraith Walk out to get a little bit of damage. Weary Day. Potions to heal him up. So I expect likely potions of shielding here. Buds taking a little bit of damage, but more stacks to be gained. Up to 4 now. And again, more really great zoning from the May. Lutano starting on this siege camp quite early here. Are we going for the Steel Trap build? Or perhaps Concussion Mine build. Also still very viable. It's Steel Trap. There we go. Lots of harassment being done. Kneel Peasants for Leo. They needed that extra shrine clear speed, so very effective. Holy Fire for Uther. Not always the main tank, but in this case, if he's going to be in the front line all the time, then Pitkid might as well be doing some damage while doing it. Doesn't need the mobility, they've decided. Look at that immediate root into sleep. There's so much anti-portal here. The reactions out of simplicity. Just making it so hard to deal with. It's going to be a rough time for the members of WildHeart to deal with. They're going to be bullied. They are going to be delayed. Excuse me. They're going to be punished. Shielding potions for Deckard. Zul'jin. He's going to be going at level 4 for that Voodoo Shuffle. Activate to remove roots and slows. 10-second cooldown. Pretty good against this composition. Concussion Mine. Zoning them away. 8-5. Currently in favor of Simplicity. Uther is stacking up, though. Up to 63. Nearly done. They chase forward. Bud's getting some stacks. Unaverted trying to do the same. Up to 6. 9 for Buds. Concussion Mine. Used to follow up on the Steel Trap. We're seeing drain momentum for that Leoric. Pitkid tanking through. Just eats the Blizzard, stays alive. Portal using the escape tool. This is likely what we're going to see a lot of this game. Unaverted getting some good DPS out and some stacks, but he's going to be rooted. Slept. Gets the Force of Will, but he's going to get body blocked and chased down very hard here. Unaverted goes down. Objective goes over to Simplicity. And Simplicity gain momentum at the start of this game. Zul'jin started off with that Recklessness, now moving in to Ferocity. That extra 40% attack speed. A little bit of poke, continuous stacks. Big stuns, big roots. The zoning of Simplicity is so hard to deal with. They have a cleanse. They're probably going to have to go D-shield as well for that exact reason. There is that Emerald as predicted from Deckard, the anti-heal. Great on Malfurion and Malthael. Even Cassia will have a bit of trouble with it, as will May, if you can land it on her cryostasis. Wei is just being harassed. Leo try to clear best he can. A little bit of harassment, but he's mostly fine. 14 stacks on Medivh. Only 1 kill so far this game. 9 on that Zul Jin. Luckily he doesn't lose stacks when he dies. And unaverted. With Weary Day scouting and Bud scouting the other way, they're easily able to take care of that siege camp. But Simplicity already grabbed theirs and are just taking bot lane. No hesitations asked between Malthael and Cassia. They have no trouble because Junkrat is taking over top lane and making sure they get the soak from it. Level 10. Hit earlier for Simplicity. Sticking with standard. Riptire here. Tranquility. Last Rites. Ice Wall. And Cassia, yet to pick, but I expect it will probably be... Oh, we're probably going to have a pause. Is what we're probably going to have. Yep, there it is. So, no ult pick for Cassia yet. As we'll jump back to me while we wait for the mainstream to make a return. As we have a quick pause due to the loss of Weary Day. Hopefully they're able to return soon. And then we'll be able to get back underway with this game number 2 of this best of 5 series. And I hope you're all having a good time. Remember, if you're enjoying, drop a subscription or a like. We're not on YouTube. Drop a subscription or a donation with bits, or a drop a subscription or a donation with bits, or just Twitch subs or with Twitch Prime. Thank you, Kaibo. I went into my hairdresser and was like, I'm molding. Give it to me, fam. And I think it looks really good. I think I look styling. Although this back bit sometimes goes wherever it wants. But I like it. It embraces the hair. It sounds like we're back into game. So we are underway. If you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe so you know when we upload new videos or casts, and also the news and other comedy shows. Unaverted, kiting backwards. I don't know what other ways he would kite. In this case, backwards is the smart one. Thanks, Brain. Leyline Seal. Cassia did go for the Valkyrie, by the way. Stay a while and listen. Taz Dongle, no surprise. Leo, I expected Tomb. I would be very surprised to see a March of the Black King in this game. And Uther, either one's going to be viable. I'm expecting D-Shield. There is that in Tomb. I'm expecting D-Shield, but there's a chance. We're going to see D-Storm. Okay. D-Storm in play. Pit Kid poking away. Unaverted. Getting rooted. Will escape here. Stays alive. So far the game is at a slow pace. We've seen 1 kill in that last objective fight in bot lane. And ever since then, the teams will sometimes meet, but they're very rarely brawling. Neither one seems to want to pull the trigger on the other yet. Looking good for now. So, rotation to the top lane. WildHeart Esports taking the slightly slower rotation. Chilling for now. They're just making sure that they're set up, that they're calm. Ooh, Zergling attempting to get the counter play there. It's trying to set up for a counter engage under fort, but instead just burns a heroic. Short cooldown, 38 seconds already left. The level 13 is hit for Simplicity though. Still a little bit further away. Leo's trying to soak it. But Pickett forced off the point. Immediately, we're seeing so many shots, so many skulls coming in for the members of Simplicity. Leoric got them level 13. He's now on his way up. They might try and contest. 14 to 8. Ancient Blessings going to be huge for the going to be huge for that Zul Jin here. Leo making their way in. Remember, no in 2, but it is about to come back. Try to focus in. Drain Hope misses. Lutano is popped though. Entomb is dropped, completely cutting off that entrance. But Pitkid is getting absolutely bodied. He'd already dropped the Divine Storm. Taz Dingo is keeping Zul'jin alive, makes it to a potion to keep going. That's going to be a 1-for-0 in favor of WildHeart, but its Simplicity aren't done yet. They're going to try and race the point. They're 34-14. Malthael's going to try and finish the job. Leyline Seal to buy time. Zergling is trying to stop Malthael, who's rushing it down. He tries to get out, but stay a while. Buys them the time. Masquerade finishes it off, though. So we will see Cure likely get taken out. Maybe not, though. Blizzard is good here. Leo, not in the best angle. Drano onto the backline, onto the Legacy. Rest of the team in full retreat, but Masquerade is splitting them up. Escape portal is burned. Pitkid will be able to use it. Ice Wall sidestep. Pitkid barely alive. Back and forth between these two teams, but the commitment, even though they were down, to try and guarantee the shots, Cure dies. Zergling demounted. He will likely die as well, although maybe not. Zergling is popping off. He's literally trying to 1v2 right now. The rest of the team rotating in, going to try and help out. They turn their attention onto Hosty, trying to finish off that Cassia. She gets out the blinds of Mei, finishing her out, getting her out of danger. And only Malthael will fall that fight. Lutano proxying the minion wave to get damage onto mid. Punisher will finally be killed. WildHeart losing their entire front wall for it. But they do get the damage. The ball is down. They got the kill. They got the XP. But Simplicity, they stay ahead. And they're going to keep staying ahead as they have got that XP over time from 2 forts down. To start themselves for the siege camp. And I doubt this will be the only one. Bot siege camp is available. They'll work away on that. One of us holding it together. Some team comms that we can't listen to. That's risky, going into WildHeart team comms. I'm kidding, they're really funny. Buds helping clear out. 29 stacks for Buds. Hasn't died yet, but also hasn't been able to stack up hugely. Zul'jin, 18 stacks. This has just been a thing for WildHeart. They're struggling to stack here. The blinds from Cassia and Mei making it a little more difficult for Zul'jin. Medivh just struggling to find those angles. The zoning is so hard from the members of Simplicity. This is a really well-played game. Pulling in the steel trap. There's endless nades for Junkrat. Big wave clear. The vicious throw for Unaverted. Now has percentage damage and ignores armor. On auto attacks he does after he throws. After he throws that Grievous throw, he gets no mercy. Using it to try and kill off Masquerade. But the blinds, again, just shutting him down. Removing all that value. Bot lane pushing in, although this catapult seems a bit confused. Blizzard coding at its best. It's auto attacks for Leo. Really getting stuck in. Life Leech and now Mithril Mace. Couple stacks for Buds, but that's an exchange for the final fort. WildHeart again finding themselves on the back foot. Scroll of Stone Curse coming in for Deckard, by the way. No stick of bonk or anything. Instead, just going in for a little bit of extra AoE damage. Big stun onto Masquerade, trying to zone him away. The camp is not finished yet. Circling backs away. The distraction's enough. Camp will be taken. That'll be used for D-push. No, it won't. Camp's running the complete opposite way. It's not even going to pay attention to that Bruiser camp. So Unaverted is left to deal with that. We see the move out from WildHeart Esports. Behind in this game, ahead in this series. Simplicity. No stacks on last rights. Again, it's a very low kill game, 1-2. They need to turn this round. Objective. Spawning in this middle lane. 21 stacks on Zul'jin. He's getting there real slowly. Quite a few hits there onto that Malthael. Big old chunk of damage. Inevitable end had to be used. Masquerade actually forcing Pick it away. Tomb is burned, but Cure teleports out. Masquerade gets body blocked in. Ice Ball splits the team in two, but both teams just sort of avoiding each other's stuff. Leyline catches two, but Pickett caught in the blizzard. Focus down. Force of Will keeps them alive, and Cure is sniped. First and only death in this fight so far, unaverted. Gets his drums interrupted, loses the sustain. 23 to 16. Junkrat trying to snipe away as many shots as possible. Circling, Wraith walking out, doing some good damage there. 34 to 19. This should be taken now in favor of WildHeart Esports. And Simplicity finally find themselves on the back foot. Counter portal, everyone goes through, gets hit by Blizzard. They're going to set themselves up. Top 4 did go down. In fact, some minion push. Bot Keep is taking a little bit more is still taking a little bit of damage. Minion wave accumulating there, but that will mean WildHeart will finally be able to defend that without having to port back. They'll just miss big old chunks of experience. But they're trying to gain that experience here in the mid lane. It's a Frozen Punisher. That's their chance at the first keep of the game. There's the Entomb. They're going to try and take out Mei. Ice Wall shuts down any follow-up, though. Wraith Walk barely in time for Zergling to get out of danger there. Punisher disabling the keep. They have to finish the fountain first. Punisher's going pretty ham, but they don't have the DPS. Everyone's zoned too hard. The zoning of Simplicity is so insane. Neither team able to grab a keep yet, but both are trying their best. Both are getting close. Concussion Mine. Set up to steal the camp. Wraithwalk is burned, and the camp will be secured. No one going for the engage. Going to see the siege camp being taken by WildHeart. Hosty playing it very safe. Does not want to get caught out. Wants to soak, doesn't want to get caught out. Same with the side of WildHeart, portaling away from whatever they're doing every time they finish. They don't want to get caught out rotating from there. It's level 20. Just around the corner for Simplicity. Will be grabbed earlier. Leoric is split pushing in top lane. Trying to grab level 20 for WildHeart. Simplicity still with that XP lead. Extra oomph for the Junkrat. The cooldown reduction. Shatter. None can stop death. Imprisoning light. We're going to see the upgrade to Tranquility for the Malthael. The Malfurion. God, that's an annoying combo. More team comms that we can't listen to. WildHeart finally hit level 20 themselves. Medivh cheats, respect the elderly. Ooh, the healing cannot be interrupted. We never see that talent from Zul'jin. Just trying to keep himself with some out-of-combat healing. Very interesting indeed. Uther, redemption. Doesn't want to die. And I don't think I saw Leo's, but there, he finishes his quest. He's hiding it. You'd expect this would be buried alive. And hey, Medivh finished his quest. There's a great blizzard on the edge of it. There is the Entomb, but no, he's not gone with the Silence Entombs instead. It's all about that DPS, baby. The Drain Hope with the extra damage, the Burning Hope, the Burning Rage, to make sure that he just does massive damage in these fights. Great for the objective. They're going to back away, though. With that Entomb, everyone inside it did survive. Unable to find the kill. And yes, it is Shield Potion. It's pretty standard if you're going with Ruby and if you're going with Emerald and Sapphire. You can't go for all 3 gems. Too cooldown intensive. So this one makes the most sense. You get the best combo that way. You always have something prepared without having to potentially waste one or swap between them, and you're not reliant on having a cooldown that should really only be up 3 times in one fight, up 4 or 5 times to get value. Bruiser Camp grabbed by WildHeart, so we'll be pushing into the lane that the objective's in. That Burning Despair. Very heavy damage output. Steel traps have been placed anywhere a portal might be used. Perfectly predicted. One end of a portal finds one. Setting themselves up. Steel trap Lands, and 2 grenades also hit unaverted. Big chunk of damage. They turn their attention with Ancient Blessings, trying to get Cure, but he's too fast. That Fear the Reaper keeping it mobile. Zergling draining away. Big damage output now. Last Rites gets absolutely nothing. Force of Will. Entomb onto Masquerade, who immediately drops Cryostasis. Divine Storm! And Respect the Elderly. Stay a while and listen. They even set it up with a ley line seal. He'll be coming out of it silent, so instead they turn their attention to Lutano. No Riptire for you, but great total mayhem onto Pit Kid. Very nearly dies. Gets the potion in the end. But they come out well ahead. Zul'jin finishes its quest. And they are good. WildHeart setting themselves up nicely here for game number 2 to take the lead in this series and for match point. To set themselves up for match point. We're seeing Hosty make their way to bot lane. Let's start grabbing that siege camp. No, gonna port back. Doesn't want to take the risk. Cure is going to grab the camp instead. Hosty needed back at base. A little bit of a harassment was done there by Buds. Just poking away with that Medivh. But Cure will still get this, and immediately with Masquerade as well getting a camp, they're going to pull back to base. Let's see what they can do. Punisher. Over the wall. Entomb available. Divine Storm available. Every heroic is ready. That's why they're creeping forward past the gate. Unaverted. Racing through. Punisher onto Masquerade, who tanks through it. The Keep will die, but Bot Keep will likely die as well. This is going to be a 1-for-1. Actually, Bot Keep might live. The minion wave's tanking a lot. It's going to be close. Everyone's ported. Yeah, this will live. The minion wave is actually going to save this. Wow, WildHeart keeping their keep alive. But Simplicity looking to try and steal away a siege camp in exchange. First keep of the game absolutely going over in favor of WildHeart here. Setting themselves up for a game number 2. But it doesn't mean Simplicity are out yet. Simplicity gaining a lot of momentum here. Stealing camps, creating pressure. They've got themselves an end condition. Next objective is in bot lane. That is a weakened keep for WildHeart, while Simplicity still even have a fort there. So much potential. Waves being cleared away. Portal to help them rotate out of here even faster. And Simplicity looks like they might want to backdoor that keep, perhaps? They find nothing, so they're going to port back. They were trying to see if they could find something to capitalize on. Unable to do so, and losing vision of the enemy team, they run away. It's a smart play. Keep your enemies chasing you. Show up on the enemy side of the map and then port out. You can keep them busy that way. It's a smart choice, and they're using it to great effect for now. Lot of push in the mid lane by WildHeart. Bot lane, trying to set themselves up for the next objective. They want to push a keep as well. Sneaky Cure trying to set himself up for a keep. He knows they'll get a keep if they win the objective in bot lane. Why not set up 2? 5 kills to 1 in favor of WildHeart. Cure will finish this off and then get out of there. This camp will not push in the keep by itself, but it will get some damage. Cure trying to create a minion wave to push with this, but here comes WildHeart. Pickett going to show there's that Fear the Reaper speed bonus, and the rest of Simplicity make their way in. That will be enough to zone and scare away from that Malthael. Nice escape. Very nicely done by Cure. Good rotation by the team. Remember, bottom objective. Definitely a keep for Simplicity, maybe game. WildHeart, potentially a keep. We'll have to see. Objective starts. It's a frozen Punisher. This is good news for both teams. Now it's a basically a guaranteed keep for either team. Zergling making the most of that big AoE he gets when he drained hopes to help clear the objective. 11-8 though, in favor of Simplicity. They're poking in. Divine Storm comes out, but is tanked through with inevitable end. Stay a while. Hits no one. Has to keep it up though to try and land it onto Mei. Does get it. Gets the silence. Cure flanking beautifully. Doing a great set of work here. Be able to avoid majority of the abilities here. Posty poking away. The grenade seriously coming in. Here comes Riptire. Only finding one target. Gets two, in fact. A little bit of cooldown reduction as Leo is the first to fall in the blizzard. Uther is locked down. Taz Dingo is burned. We're going to see the escape of Zul'jin. Revive of Uther. But the objective, the Frozen Punisher, goes over to Simplicity, who are going to try and close this out. Man advantage for Simplicity here, with Leo not back yet, but he's trying. Trying to resurrect. This keep will fall. This will be a Punisher into the core or mid lane, depending on how good the pull of WildHeart is. Meaning they can't really let Uther do this. They're going to force of will him. He stays alive for the moment, but he's taking a lot of damage. Focused by Cure. Force of will again. Tanking through, but he will go down. That's no more redemption. And because he was stunned out, he couldn't pull the Punisher. This is why you might have been able to just make someone else pull it and cleanse them with Uther. Unaverted. Pulling back and gets rip-tired. They're trying to take out Deckard, and they will finish him. That is going to be 4 kills on the board. Just Leo defending. He dropped an Entomb to try and kill off Malthael. He will succeed. Last rites, though. Almost finishes off Zergling, and nothing is going to stop him taking down the core. 1-1 is the score as Simplicity take game number 2. No team in CCL shall go undefeated this day. Every team now has at least a single map loss. And we get more games. Sick. Victory for Simplicity. Choose a prediction. Ooh, unlucky. Victory for Simplicity. Boop. Unlucky. Excuse me. Malthael. Nice amount of hero damage there. But Hosty poking away so consistently. And that's the issue with picking Medivh so early. Simplicity honestly drafted that pretty perfectly. They just picked up everything that countered Medivh. The Medivh did okay, 29k damage, but the portals never got value. They had so much CC and zoning, and there was just nothing the WildHeart could really do about it. They were just locked out every time. As such, we will see the score even up. Very nicely done. Talent-wise, again, we already mentioned the stuff that was out of the ordinary. The biggest one would definitely be that extra healing at level 20. Checking back in while Soup Base is cooking. That was a gifted sub from Jinxie Killmeister. So yeah, the extra healing from Unaverted. Not working out in this case. And yeah, just the fact it took so long for Buds and Unaverted to stack really shows you how that game went. That was a longer game, 25 minutes compared to the 11 we had earlier. And Simplicity have evened up the score. Much less one-sided than game number 1. Game number 1 was WildHearts from start to finish. But overall, I think it had a similar idea behind it, where it was still a little bit back and forth between the two teams, but Simplicity really had, even though it didn't show it in the kill count as much, they had control over that game. From start to finish, they kind of just had all the momentum here. So yeah, that's how it be. That is how it be. Alright, so because we have at least 2 games left no matter what, I'm actually going to take the mainstream up on their break this time. And I'm going to use the bathroom. I won't make it as long as their break, obviously. It's just going to be bathroom, water, come back. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, it will be game number 3 of this best of 5 series. Score is currently 1-1 between Simplicity and WildHeart. Who will emerge victorious? The CCL champions or the Storm Division champions? We'll find out in a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you all in a moment. Alrighty, I'm back and I beat the mainstream as usual. Get ranked. Nah, they're waiting for players. I always say this. I make fun of the mainstream a lot, but I do it in good. Fun because I do like a lot of people on there. So I try to do it in good fun, but give them a little bit of sass because I've got less viewers than them, so I can do it. I'm less famous, therefore I can throw shade. It feels good. Oh dear. Alrighty. Let's get this going. Although less famous than them is a relative term, because I guess it depends on which one of them. So, we're going to be getting ready to jump into game number 3 as soon as we can. We're still waiting for the mainstream to get back from their break, so we got a little bit of time to burn before that happens. So, win for simplicity, evening up the score. One of these teams is going to be either tied first place or move to third place. It's because, of course, we already have a tied first place. Storm Esports and 30k, both sitting at 6 and 1. That is 2 Series 1 with a single map dropped. With Simplicity and WildHeart both in the exact same situation, they are now also in a position where they will... excuse me. They are now also in a position where if they win 2 games in a row, they will become tied with Storm and 30k. If we go to a full Game 5, our first 5-game series of CCL, then no matter what, Simplicity, the winner, will move into third place, and the loser will move into fourth place. Yes, fourth. They're still going to be ahead of Oxygen, because Oxygen didn't win a single map on the series they lost. So yes, there we go. If we have a 3-1, tied third place. If we have a 3-2, third and fourth place. We did it. Math. We found a math way. We are good. So, we're just waiting for that mainstream to send us into a game as soon as possible. Excuse me. And then we shall be good to go. Wonderful. So, we can also have a look at next week's games. Remember, I will not be casting these, at least live. I will be casting these from VOD at some point during the week. So next week, I will be casting Oxygen Esports versus Chili Mountain, and then Storm Esports versus Simplicity, as well as Onyx versus WildHeart, and 30k versus Granite Gaming. They will be happening at some point during the week, not at a weekend after those games have happened. Speaking of which, speaking of games happening, we have our map. Simplicity have opted to take us to Dragonshire, meaning that we have had the first pick choice by WildHeart Esports. So far, the team that has had first pick has always won the map in this best of 5. Can WildHeart continue to prove that theory correct? As we are preparing to head into game number 3, Dragonshire shall be the map. We'll have a look at the statistics for this season. No Dragonshire games for WildHeart Esports. This is their first. For Simplicity, 1 Dragonshire game, 100% win rate. We can, of course, look at last season as well, because these two teams are mostly unchanged. With Simplicity, as we jump into our draft, Simplicity on Dragonshire having a 60% win rate. Pretty good, above average. And they also, remember, Simplicity had a very rough start to the season. Whereas WildHeart, they had a 0% win rate. Even in Season 1, only 1 Dragonshire game, and they did not win on it. Their most banned map, in fact, was Dragonshire, with 7 bans. WildHeart not a fan. So this is a good map choice by Simplicity. Trying to punish that WildHeart first pick. Let's see if Simplicity can utilize that to take themselves to a match point. Or will WildHeart be able to get their first Dragonshire win on the board? Let us see. We're going to be starting off with the Hogger and Lucio bans. WildHeart. Uther is available again if they wanted to try that as they are first pick. In which case Cassia or Chromie could be good bans. If not top lane, Sonya still available as well. Plenty of options here. They're going to ban out Medivh this time. Didn't work for them. Don't want their opponents to have it. So Simplicity takes Sonya out of the equation. Uther is still first picked by WildHeart. This could, of course, be put into that main tank role again or the main support. Plenty of options here for that Uther. Immediately, we see a Cure coming in for the Zeratul. A Cure coming in for the Zeratul. A Zeratul coming in for the Cure. Sylvanas as well. Gives them great push potential for that bottom lane. We're seeing a lot of teams go for the 1-3-1 strat. So perhaps Zeratul could take over the bot one of those three. Cassia and Zergling on that Yrel. Very strong. We've seen Zergling's Yrel so many times, and it just keeps winning. It is so strong. A smart pickup for them. Uther is an okay hero. Agreed. He's alright, isn't he? He's doing alright for himself. Simplicity now with the next ban. They ban out the Stukov. They do. They don't want that double healer. And also means they don't intend to pick Stukov for themselves. WildHeart, what are they afraid of now? Malfurion was a bit of a pain last time. So was Mei. Banning either of those out could be pretty solid. They're going to take out Brightwing. Brightwing, very effective of a choice there. Remove that burst healing. Because they could still run Uther as their main healer, so they might as well try and choke him. Force them onto that Malfurion, see if they can punish him that way. Simplicity, they could pick Malfurion, but there are other options as well. They're going to save their healer for last. Very smart. So Mei and Junkrat. So now, with Lucio, Stukov, Uther, and Brightwing taken, WildHeart wouldn't be a terrible idea for them to just take the Malfurion here and double support. And just have Uther main tank again. Mei seems to be pretty good into it, but honestly, the Malfurion would be rough into Zeratul, but it would be such a good support denial. They're not going to do it, though. Main tank Varian, main support Uther, and a Grey main for burst. They have a great burst rotation comp now. Gives them a lot of good options. Simplistic. What do they choose to do with their final pick? They need a healer. They're going to go with Anduin. They don't go for the Malfurion. With Greymin on the board, it would be a little rough. So Anduin is the resorted to hero. Let's see if they can utilize it to the effect that they wish. It does offer some burst healing. Zeratul is a classic Anduin combo. If you are someone as good as One Direction, then you could easily drop a Mei Light Bomb combo. You have to time it really well. Lots of good options. We're going to be heading into game number 3. Neither of these teams will win off this map, but they will set themselves up with a match point. So this is still very important for these two teams who will take the lead in this best of 3 series. Who is a best of 5 series? What is this double range DPS nonsense? Alright, what do they think this is? 2019? 2020? All the way up to February? What do they think this is? How dare they? Who do they think they are? Alrighty. We're going to be getting ready to jump into game number 3 of 5. See which team takes the lead in this best of 5 series, as we already are sitting at 1-1. We're going to be heading in to Dragonshire. Let's get this going. That's on the left-hand side. Winning the last game. It is Simplicity, Cure, Lutano, Hosty, Legacy, and Masquerade. It's a cleave build Zeratul, by the way. Bringing them into it that way. Full AoE. There are 2 big Zeratul counters in this game. Uther and Varian. This is why they're going cleave. They can leave quicker. On this side, WildHeart, Pitkid, Zergling, Unaverted, Weary Day, and Buds. Taunt from Varian. Stun from Uther. This is how they counter Zeratul. But they have to be quick, because cleave build Zeratul can leave a lot faster than reset auto build Zeratul can. With that Mitre and Nerazim. And that is why they have likely gone for the cleave. It's quicker in, quicker out. So this is fully off-lane Zeratul, by the way. No extra off-lane like a a 4-man hogger to come in with this. High King's Quest for Varian. That's interesting. We're still going with the stun cooldown reduction. Make sure that you can hit that Zeratul. But High King's Quest for Varian. They really want to make sure they kill Zeratul in these fights. Also, Zeratul is in the offlane versus Varian. Yrel in the 4-man. Very interesting. A big swap around for WildHeart here. Are they even planning on going for Taunt? I would still expect so. Good concussion mine. Zergling forced to back away and drop a stun on the way out. Siege Camp grabbed by the members of WildHeart Esports much faster than Simplicity. They started quicker, and also Greymane. In exchange, we're going to see Simplicity start their own Bruiser Camp. Try and gain some value that way. Cure even comes in to help out. The extra cleave definitely going to be useful. On the other side, Weary Day and Buds. Buds for speed, Weary Day for stacks. Unaverted. Also going to help out a little bit, not too much. And Zergling is left alone bot lane. So they are doing the classic 1-3-1 strat that has become so popular recently, but without any melees in the 4-man. They're just using Uther, who is the healer and the tank in the rotation here. Really smart by WildHeart. It's a great little rotation strat. Unaverted will absolutely not get this DK. Interrupt 1. Interrupt 2. And yeah, that's enough for Unaverted. Sylvanas is able to get control of bot lane. And the push in the top lane shall continue. It is Colossus Smash, so they're not going Taunt. Might as well. You got a Yrel, a Varian, and an Uther. Even though he's this main healer, you might as well also treat Uther like the main tank in this comp, I guess, and pick Colossus Smash Varian to just eat people. I don't hate it. It's kind of smart. Big cleave. Onto Unaverted. Is that inner light available? Doesn't matter. Into the Blizzard. But that is trading out a single Cassia kill for a fort. However, in the bottom lane, a fort trade is being potentially set up as Lutano piles on a little bit of aggression. They're still going. That was one of the fastest blink cleaves I've ever seen. Ah, because it wasn't a wormhole. That makes sense. They're still going. No one's stopping them, so they're still going. Junkrat's sieging in. Fine. Nope, they're still going. I really thought WildHeart was going to leave there. Yep, they're just going to keep pushing. Literally no one's stopping them. Junkrat's trying to delay, but he's not stopping. Here comes Blizzard. Masquerade trying to save the day, trying to delay. Pitkin backing out. Remember, he's lost some health with this build. Colossus Smash comes in. Cure blinks away. Sylvanas dies to Zergling and Unaverted. Can the 3-man of WildHeart get out of there to make this a 1-for-0? They're retreating. They've got that Pursuit of Justice for Weary Day for move speed. That's going to be a double channel. Going over to WildHeart, and again, Masquerade is in position to deny. But this time, here comes the rest of WildHeart. Big stun, big focus. Colossus Smash doesn't land. Interrupted there. Cure blinks away, but this time the channel. Junkrat trying to delay. Doesn't get it in time. And that will be the Dragon Knight going over to WildHeart Esports. Big stun. Massive CC. This comp is working really well. I had my doubts about the C-Smash Varian, but seems to be working. The Uther support / main tank working very well in their favor. Might as well just make him do 2 jobs. Why not? Going to be seeing the push onto the bottom lane. Cure cleaving at the minions of the Dragon Knight, trying to slow it down. Blizzard zones them away a bit. Punt onto Sylvanas. The fort will die. 2 forts down in favor of WildHeart. The Fire Breath will finish it. But now Pitkin, a little bit isolated, dashes away. Using a minion to escape. Big cleaves for Cure. No level 10. Zergling hovering around, seeing if his team needed help. No chase coming in. Everyone able to back away. Siege Camp easily going to be grabbed by the side of WildHeart. Mirrored this time by Simplicity. This is obviously a good lane right now for Simplicity to be pushing in. As they've weakened the fort of WildHeart very heavily. WildHeart making the most of it, though. They still have positioning advantage. They're able to keep the pressure going in that bottom lane by grabbing another Bruiser camp as well. There is a Bruiser camp being grabbed by Simplicity, but it is up in top lane. A lane that is very healthy because of the amount of defense Zergling's been putting up. They're going to pressure into that bottom keep instead. The D-Shield, the Valkyrie, these level 10s on board. Level 10 just around the corner. Valkyrie, leap of faith. Big save onto Masquerade. Here come the level 10s for Simplicity. They have that light bomb now. Big plays. Ice Wall splits the team in two. The Blizzard is good. Zergling not in the best position. Just going to knock him away and back out. Cure on the side. VP only catches two. Blink light bomb finds no one. Full disengage. Wailing Arrow and the Riptide come out. Only really getting some damage onto Unaverted. That's going to be WildHeart Esports backing away. Simplicity was setting that up to be hype. But WildHeart Esports playing very well around it, scaring off Zeratul. My husband is dead. Remind this kingdom of his strength. Not going to be claimed by Simplicity. Sylve picking up that. WildHeart, they continue to hold their momentum here. Finally, Simplicity will finish off this bottom fort with back arrows from Sylvanas. They hold the Moon Shrine, they get themselves a fort, but there's a Bruiser camp pushing top lane. They may have to actually do something about that relatively soon. Blizzard. Cleansed out this time. They don't want to risk losing Pit Kid there. So literally using the Hand of Protection. The Steel Trap is chasing them down a bit, but easily able to walk away. Buds beginning to cap bottom lane. Top, currently uncaptured. Bruiser camp pushing in top lane with catapults, meaning this is an open channel. That will be Dragonite number 2 going over to WildHearts. No one stopping them. Very easily able to push this in, but the damage onto the Dragonite is very scary. They're going to do a lot of work on this. Lutano was able to clear out top lane, still with minor damage to the keep. Jumping in and harassing. Knockback onto Sylve. That's a big stun. Again, another cleanse from Weary Day onto Pit Kid. The Colossus Smash comes in, but Cure was too far away for people to follow up. Fort goes down. That's the final fort for Simplicity as they begin looking at keeps. Another big stun onto Zergling. The harassment stacking up, doing damage after damage after damage. They keep the pressure on. Unaverted backing away. Picked. Valkyrie just short. Cryostasis from Masquerade just in case. I think he was out of it, but wanted to stay safe. The Concussion Mine slows down this camp clear. Light Bomb into the VP. Only really lands on Yrel, who's able to get the Undefender off. Here it comes onto the point, though. May is forced off as the kill on Varian is the first. Cure will escape. He's gone for that Shroud of a Doom for shielding. Camp was grabbed by WildHeart. They lose Varian, but the rest of the team is in full retreat. Cure from the side. Looks to go in. Gets absolutely dunked on by Buds, though. Buds completely killing Cure. Lutano finishes off the siege camp, and WildHeart evening up the kill count. They're just going to start and grab another siege camp. They're even on numbers. They might as well utilize it. And with Greymane and Cassia damage, they easily finish that off. Bruiser camp in bot lane as well. Varian's on their way back to life. Yrel's getting XP top lane. WildHeart are in a good position here. Simplicity, they will once again grab a Bruiser camp of their own, grabbing their own side. As WildHeart continue to finish up this bottom camp. Simplicity, a little bit slower again. They don't exactly have a Greymane. Several members of the team coming in to help them finish that off. As they push on in. Varian, very risky to take that steel trap, considering he didn't actually check that bush first. Concussion Mine is down. Split the camp, send several into tower early if they want to. They're trying to bait it. Blizzard is there. Steel Trap landing onto that Urel. A little bit of damage. Siege Camp has made it to fort range. There's the concussion mine forcing them back. Steel Trap 1. Steel Trap 2. They have to cleanser. Unaverted was in very nearly huge danger. But trying to stay alive. Colossal Smash. And a charge. Very risky. Drops the shield wall. This is WildHeart retreating. The Divine Shield. But onto Varian. Light Bomb. Finding nothing. The cryostasis continued throughout. Potentially a missed call. Potentially a disengaged chance. Pickett still playing very aggressively though. Charging into fights instead of out. VP is there. Blizzard timed pretty well. Lands the stun, and that is a dead Varian. Zergling came in to try and delay, try and get them out of danger, but now Zergling's in trouble. Has to Hand of Freedom. Get that move speed buff out. Lots of damage is being dealt here. But they can't finish anyone else off. That's a single kill. Very low kill game, this one. 3 kills to 3, level 16. About to be hit by Simplicity. Despite being down that fight, they still found their angles. Percentage damage for Urel with that knockback. Cure grabs 1. And Toasty gets them their first Dragonite of the game. Simplicity finally getting something on the board so they can begin pushing. We need to see that defensive position by WildHeart Esports. Some more team comps that we can't hear. Unaverted, punted away as the gate dies. Dragonite continues to siege on in. This will be likely a fort going down. You can see that defense poke doing quite a bit of damage. Varian on only 1 stack of that High King's Quest. Again, they cleanse out Unaverted, not wanting to take the risk. Just going to eat the damage. Concussion Mine lands. The fort goes down. 22% health left with 30 seconds left on that Dragon Knight. Top lane being pushed in again. Cure has to react to that. You can say what you want about WildHeart, but they've been incredibly annoying with this camp timing. The Dragon Knight is still doing a little bit of work here as the camera makes me a little nauseous.
That beast is not my beloved. Not anymore.
Unaverted. Pulls on through. There's the charge. Great ice wall. Unaverted. Able to secure the camp. Forcing Cure off it. The stuns come out. But they all stay alive. Zergling creeping forward. Looks for Cure. Lands the stun. Looks like he's going to try and run Cure down, but he's already blinked out. Valkyrie turnaround. Light Bomb. Hosty blinks away. Gets out. The good shield wall by Pitkid stays alive, so instead they turn their attention onto Masquerade, but another fantastic Blizzard. The anti-heal is applied, but Buds can't finish the job. He's going to be focused down, in fact, killed off by Cure and Hosty. These defense plays by the members of Simplicity. You'd see the chase here. Such a great setup. But they just can't seem to finish the job. The Light Bomb comes out onto Varian. He blocks so much damage. So they all turn their attention onto Mei. Just eating the stun to set her up. So Greymane dives in, resets, doesn't get the kill with that Feral, with that ultimate, and instead is picked off. So we see Cure scouting out a Bruiser camp, second Bruiser camp being taken in the bottom lane by Simplicity.
Another chance to prove yourself worthy. Do not squander it.
Pickett cleaning up. Getting as much value as they can. On the other side, Simplicity going to be taking down that Bruiser camp. Getting some pressure onto that top lane of their own. See if they can take down the last remaining 4 of WildHeart. WildHeart out of Mercenaries to send against Simplicity, so that bottom keep looks like it will stay standing for now. So instead, full 5v5. Both teams rotate up to top, but WildHeart are closer to 20. They'd be very smart just to wait this out and get 20. So they grab control of top. Play defensive. With the minion wave arriving, we're going to be seeing WildHeart Esports. They get that Sephirim for Urel. that is going to be the alpha clause for the... it's going to be a very melee-heavy build for the Greymane. He's gone for the extra cleave on the Greymane melee auto attacks, not the Hunter's Blunderbuss. So he's gone for the Unfettered Assault, which isn't too out of the ordinary, but he's also gone for Alpha Killer, which is 3% max health damage, and the Tooth and Claw is what it's called. Cleave for 100% of the damage, and Razor Swipe's damage is increased by 100%. Combined that with the Unfettered Assault, increase that lunge distance by 60%. And that cooldown reduction on auto attacks. Cure, a little bit isolated, eating some damage here. Good cleaves. Raph, there is that charge coming in from the Varian. The Cluster Strike, Wailing Arrow. Great D-Shield, trying to keep Greymane alive. But honestly, this is such a good wraparound by Simplicity. Anduin goes down. Buds is trying everything he can to try and pick up a second kill for them, and will do so. And WildHeart, they're holding together in this fight. But Simplicity, they put off such a great wraparound. They had all to lose here. But it looks like all to lose might be exactly what they have, as Lutano able to wrap around, able to escape. They let Cure go and focus onto that Junkrat. They finish the kill. That is a 3 for 2 in favor of WildHeart Esports. Cure immediately to bot lane. He doesn't need to cap it fully. He just needs it neutral. He doesn't even wait to cap it fully. He ports back. Goes home. Gonna channel their way in. Ooh, slight interrupt. Perhaps waiting for Uther. Gonna send that Cassia down to the bottom lane. The first keep of the game is waiting there. It's not often you see the term XD biochemistry in Twitch chat. Absolutely love it. They're making their way forward. The punt. Ooh, unstoppable with Will of the Forsaken. That's a lot of Dragon Knight damage now. Varian's on the way. Weary Day arrives from base. They're just dropping the Dragon Breath for now, working away slowly at that fort. The first keep. 2 full will give them a lot of value here. This time they get the punt. 1 auto, 2 auto. Lutano makes his way in, but it's too late. The Dragon Knight got the keep. Catapult's now going to accumulate in this lane at a much quicker rate. The Dragon Knight will retreat out of here. And there's not a huge amount of value left to be got. They could take it mid and do some damage, but honestly, there's very little chance they'll get anything. There's too much poke. So they put their attention here instead. Now they'll finally leave. Right, they weren't able to get anything there either. They're just getting poked out of the Dragon Knight. With 8 seconds left, this DK has fulfilled its usefulness and will in fact be cancelled early. Get unaverted back in the fight quicker. Bruiser Camp started in the bottom lane. WildHeart get control of that for themselves. Simplicity. Burning away. Oh, the steal attempt. Ice Wall. May finds the angle. Camp is stolen. Seraphim prevents Yrel from being killed. Good Blizzard again. Masquerade zoning away to raid, interrupting the pull. But I'm pretty sure Leap of Faith just got wasted. Big cleaves from Zeratul working him down. Blizzard coming out. The Black Arrows disabling the Bruiser Camp, but they still get that spell armor. VP on the backline. Where's Riptire coming in for the follow-up, but tanking through, not even caring. They absorb the hit. Buds tries to survive, as does Pitkin. Focus down. Pitkin is very low, and we'll see the chase by Hosty, grabbing that kill on that weakened Varian. Weary Day is now almost certainly dead. Very little place to go. Buds dropped, dead. And this is looking like kind of a disaster for WildHeart. Pushing in, Light Bomb lands onto Cassia. The Ice Wall traps her. And Yrel realizes there's nothing she can do with that. Simplicity picking up another 4 kills, making their way in to get themselves their first keep of the game. Can they get more, however? That is the question. Zergling, big stuns, trying to delay it, pushing them into the other keep to buy time. they're going right for core. Zergling has to delay, has to deny, just stun on cooldown. Zergling is doing everything he can here. They're away from the minions. Masquerade taking a big chunk of damage, but the keep is now down. Zergling trying to stay alive, trying to delay, trying to deny. On the defender is dropped. 5 seconds left until Varian, but the core is going down. These stuns, Zergling is giving everything he can. He gets rooted. Varian comes in, Colossus smash, but Iceball shuts him down. Cured Ice in the core though. Zergling, multi-man stun. The catapults are trying to save. They're trying to delay. Lutano is low. He will die, but his trait will kill the core. And that is game number 3 going over to Simplicity. 2-1 in their favor. Simplicity taking the lead in this best of 5 series, our season 1 champions. Finally starting to be back on top. WildHeart had control of that lane for a lot of it, but they overstayed. Varian getting killed off that low hit point pool and the blizzards of May. Able to set that up beautifully. Ulada, hello, it is me, the person that didn't like biochemistry because they have weird long names. Feels like they just like long carbon chains to impress others. And now I forgot everything. Probably couldn't even understand first year college anymore. Same, feel ya. Big feel ya there. I'm with ya. I'm really bad at remembering all the stuff I learned in school because I don't use a huge amount of it, but that's fair. I'm still glad I learned it. That is how it be. 10 kills to 9. It really came back at the end there for Simplicity. They brought it back in with those final kills. Finally able to get a good isolation. Again, kill off Varian and then just chase everyone down. The cooldown reduction on Riptire, the extra oomph, really being a big saving grace for them there. Weird question. What are Junkrat's options at 13? Give me a second. I will look it up because I'm not going to pretend I remember. I know he has the silence traps, which is what he went for this time. Which are called the gotta trap. Sorry, no, it's gotta trap them all at that level. So 2 traps, which is gotta trap them all. Bombs away, which is basic attack range by 1 and extra basic attack damage from each grenade you fire with your Q. Or Ripper Air, which is the more usual talent we'd see with. So basically, we'd see gotta trap them all with steel trap builds, or Ripper Air with Q builds. Even though bombs away seems like it would make sense with Q builds, Ripper Air gives you basically global level rotational ability and allows you to soak experience really, really well. So that's what you'd be seeing at level 13 from Junkrat usually. Gotta trap ball trap build, Ripper Air, basically any other build, because rotating around the map really quickly is really fun. So hell yeah, love to see it. Hope you're all having a good time. We're down to what could be our final game. Our final game of this best of 5 series. To see who will make it into, because if Simplicity win, they will make it into tied first place. If WildHeart can win 2 in a row, then they will make it into solid 3rd place. It is first or third right now for these teams. Simplicity, if they lose from here, they will be 4th place no matter what. WildHeart, if they lose from here, they are 4th place no matter what as well, because they have actually won a game. Glad you're liking it, Zonny. Glad you're liking the casting. And I'm glad Ulada is liking the hair. As we are jumping back, my hairdresser stole my hair, and I like it. We're going to be seeing Tomb of the Spider Queen. Going to be picked up as the map number 4 for WildHeart Esports. Smaller map, more brawly. Simplicity broke the first pick, always wins curse. They've now won 2 in a row. Let's see if they can close this, if Simplicity can close this out, or if WildHeart will even up the score and take us to our first game number 5 of this season. Lots of hype, lots of fun to be had. I hope you are all ready, because we have some action to undertake. Tomb is good for WildHearts. It's one of, in my opinion, my most favourite maps to cast them on. WildHeart currently sitting at a 50% win rate this season on Tomb. Simplicity, they sit at a 100% win rate. 1 game, 1 win. It'll do. Statistics are there. So, let us get into this draft as soon as possible, as soon as the mainstream map maker. Map maker, make a map. Make me a map as fast as you can. It was almost a thing. We're in! Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map. 4-man rotation, very effective here, but we have seen the 1-3-1 similar to Dragonshire on this map every now and again. Camp Clear, also useful. It's a great hugger map. Many long corridors with great bounce angles you can get value out of. This is a great Medivh map too. Lots of long walls separated on those corridors, which means the map is separated pretty effectively, allowing Medivh portals to get great value. Both of them will be banned. Sonya, Chromie, all these high priority picks, Uther, Lucio. All these great options are available to both these teams, but some shall have to be removed. With first pick, Simplicity, they get to ban less important stuff. They get a lot more control. They ban Lucio though, keeping the priority. They don't want to pick it up. WildHeart now, so they ban the Uther. So far they've played Uther twice, and so far it hasn't really gone in their favor. Let's see what they do. They ban the Uther. Not gonna risk their opponents taking it. Even though they haven't got too much value out of it, they still ain't taking that risk. Sonya shall be the first pick, with one of her big counters banned away already. The other big counter being Rexar. Very gankable. So will WildHeart take the bait, or will they pick something like D.Va? A softer counter, but one that can soak a little bit more effectively. And at least can take camps quicker. They don't pick their offlane yet at all. They go Gul'dan and Stukov. Gul'dan played in a lot of games these days. I'm curious what the sudden appearance of Gul'dan is about. Why he's just suddenly materializing in all games. Chromie. And May. Nicely done. That's a lot of high priority picks here. Great zoning, a fantastic poke. Going to make it very hard for anyone to be able to turn in. Killmeister has commandeered the TV. Hello, Killmeister, and anyone Killmeister lives with. I hope the soup is good. Gul'dan, because he is the best Horde leader. Wow, you need to get out. We're going to see Zeratul banned away. Absolutely wrecked immediately. Don't want to deal with Cure's Zeratul anymore. Simplicity. With final ban, they removed D.Va, like we were talking about. Extra soak. WildHeart Esports now. I quite liked Vol'jin as my war chief. I thought he was nice. Yrel. Gonna be picked up by WildHeart again. They love that for the offlane. Has a little bit of CC to interrupt Sonya. It's a smart pick. And there's that Malfurion. Double support for WildHeart Esports this time. Does that mean we're going to see solo damage Gul'dan? Or are we going to see solo tank Yrel / solo tank Stukov? This draft is already weird, but that's WildHeart for you. Simplicity. Zeratul banned, Sonya on the board. I expect we'll probably see that Sonya swapped to Cure. There's Hanzo. And Ana. Ana Chromie. Terrifying combo. Ana Hanzo is still pretty rough. Alright, so it is variant. So it's solo damage Gul'dan. Very solid. So that is going to be Cure once again on that offlane. So Lutano's picking up that Hanzo. Very solid pickup. Looking good. So, we are getting ready to jump into game number 4. This could be the final game of our best of 5 series if Simplicity are able to claim victory. If WildHeart can win out the game, though, then we will be heading to a game number 5. The first game number 5 of CCL. Very exciting. Very exciting indeed. I hope you're all ready. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. If you're enjoying this casting, or you just want to show your support, drop a subscription or a donation. I do this for free, and as such, I struggle to afford rent. So if you want to show your support, then that is very appreciated. I recently went through surgery. My mum is about to go through surgery, so I'm having to support a lot more. So any extra assistance is appreciated. Mum is having to have a tumor removed from next to her bladder in about 2-3 days. So very nervous about that. I very much hope she's going to be okay. For now, we're just going to believe that everything will be fine and hope as we are heading in to game number 4. On the left, Simplicity, Cure, Masquerade, Legacy, Hosty, and Lutano. Ready to try and close this series out. On the right, WildHeart Esports, Zergling, Buds, Unaverted, Pit Kid, and Weary Day. Looking to even up the score and take us to a game number 5. Let's see if they can close it out. Vision from Kroby sees only Unaverted. Very interesting. Meaning that they can immediately start poking the towers. Kroby things. It's going to be a standard Vision Kroby. In fact, every talent looks pretty normal, except we're going for another High King's quest. The extra area on the healing for Zergling. This will work well with the Light of Karabor. Light of Aldor later on. And we're going to be seeing the extra Fell Flame quest. So going for the more burst-focused Gul'dan build, as opposed to the damage over time with that poison. Very interesting. Scatter Arrow for Hanzo, no based Q build, and no Korean build. And Mei, sometimes we see the heat transfer, but in this case it's going to be the extra damage on that Blizzard. Speaking of Blizzard, coming in, forcing everyone to disengage. You see Pickett, he's trying to land auto attacks onto Lutano. Get extra pressure going in there. For now, Yrel is taking top lane. They are doing that strategy of just trying to focus on top lane with an off-laner. Usually this would be a Junkrat or something like that, and the rest of the team rotating to bot quite a lot. So, Kroby goes to deal with Yrel. Sonya grabs the Bruiser camp, which leaves this Siege camp open for WildHeart. No contested at all. They just get that. Vision gained by Hanzo, but he knows there's now what he can do about it. Setting themselves up nicely. You thought E was more of a burst? Who's E? What, you mean Gul'dan's corruption? A burst is damage that comes... if you mean the corruption, damage is something that comes in... burst damage is something that comes in quicker. It's not just a lot of damage. So Gul'dan's E is a lot of damage in one go. Q is more burst because the damage happens quicker. Q are going to be backing away. We're seeing Colossal Smash once again for Varian. Debilitating Dart for the Ana. Armor reducing time traps for Hosty, who pokes away. Big damage onto Pitkid, who is once again caught in the Blizzard. Ease Dot, yeah. So, yeah, the idea behind it is a lot of damage. And Corruption can usually add up to much more damage than Q build, but that is not a burst. The Q build is more bursty. In general, Gul'dan's not very bursty in general. The dot does chunk a ton, hell yeah. And also, that is debatable. Lunara can actually do a lot of damage, but I guess it's not with the dot if she goes to single target build, which will actually wreck you. If you go for single target Q-based jump build, you will actually own people. I recommend that build if you haven't tried it. Learned it from Luna, she's awesome. They take out the remainder of mid-wave so their Bruiser camp can push in. WildHeart making the most of these camp clears to try and gain some momentum that way. Buzz trying to turn in, but there is a time trap. Allowing for the interrupt. Bruiser camp pushing in. Cure clears off one. No stacks yet on High King's quest. Haven't completed any of the 3 settings for it yet. 16 stacks on that Fell Flame. Zergling channels in, gets a lot of gems in. They're 33 to 21 turned in now. Trying to put on as much pressure as possible. Hippity hoppity. This is Lunara's property. But back it away. Big jump by Zergling, trying to focus on Cure. Can't find the stun angle. Could not get behind Cure, and that's not just to knock him away. Gul'dan really mixing up the build here. Going with the Curse of Exhaustion. Going the extra 50% drain life damage. And the 40% slow. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Going with just every talent that does damage by the looks of it. See if that works out for him. In fact, yeah, every talent that does damage. Come for, oh, improved life tap, sorry. I thought that was the one that did extra spell power, but no, that's Darkness Within, which is later. Unaverted holding for now. So yeah, improved life tap as well. That's out of the ordinary. Extra 35%, go for 35% mana instead of the usual amount. Very cool to see. So, they pressure their way in. Varian. Second wind. No victory rush. Try to pressure onto that Mei. Try to set her up. Not enough to finish anyone off yet. These Web Weavers, first of the game for WildHeart Esports, able to take down most of the front wall in top and mid, but looking like the same thing happened down there due to the positioning of the minions. Yep, Cure killed by Zergling, running him down. That is 16 gems lost. Sorry, 17 gems lost. Math is hard. Zergling not only able to get some good push going, able to deny a big chunk of gems. Root, sleep. That's a good Colossus smash. That's going to be a kill. Going over to the side of WildHeart Esports. Nicely done. They get themselves their first fort off the game. WildHeart looking to try and even up this series into a 2-2 and take us to a game number 5. Okay, so we're not going to go every talent that does more damage for Unaverted, as he does not go for Rain of Memes. Going to stick with the good talent and go with Horrify. Turning coming in. There's still enough gems available for the side of Simplicity. So the boss is going to come in for Simplicity. Sorry, the boss will come in for WildHeart. Where's Simplicity? They're going to look to try and turn in, but they can't find it. They got zoned out in bot lane, so as such, it's turning number 2 for the side of WildHeart. They're trying to capitalize. They're really looking to take us to game number 5 here. They're going to push in with the boss. 4-man push. Boss did take some damage, so they were a little slower. In fact, boss will be dead before the Web Weavers even arrive due to the Chromie damage with the help of Sonya. But this is still great harassment. Yrel clearing out mid while this is going on. Bot going to be pushed up really hard. Masquerade gets the Ice Wall, lands on Malfurion. Varian completing one part of High King's quest. They're still going to push in, even with the Web Weavers. Remember, it's best if you have single target damage to focus onto the Spiderlings with the Web Weaver. If you have AoE damage, focus on the Web Weaver. But the Spiderlings do more damage. Web Weaver down, Dragon Arrow does not land, unaverted with unpredictable movements. Horrify, Root, Focus, Cure, dropped low, but he stays alive. Buds, back it up, healed up. Pitkin eating sand as well. That is an easy retreat because they are low. Mid fort survives, but that is going to be bot fort and the entirety of bot front wall. Good defense by Simplicity. They still have enough for their turn-in. Siege camp grabbed by WildHeart. Gul'dan going to start on their Bruiser camp. The Web Weavers finally expired. Mei will turn in, and that will likely be enough. Finally, we're going to see Simplicity with their first Web Weavers of the game. Let's see what they can get with this. Bot Siege already going to be taken out. Masquerade wrapping around from behind. Pitkin tanking through. Good dodge on the Ice Wall. Mini stun from Zergling. Even Gul'dan still nearby, but it's focusing on mid lane. There's that Light of Aldor. Set up for the D push. Lots of pressure being applied. Zergling trying to get onto Cure. Scatter Arrow continuing to get some good damage output. Mortal Wounds on that Varian. Gonna allow them to engage. Another attempted Dragon Arrow. Not able to find purchase. Zergling continuing to stun. Disrupt them that way by knocking them about. Even gets that damage reduction now with that Aldor. That Aldor Peacekeeper. Diving on in. The Ice Wall shuts down the chase. Zergling gets the stun and the slow. They're really going to try and finish off Legacy with Twilight Dream. They will get that kill. Horrify. Dodged by Masquerade, though. Very nice sidestep. Very nicely done. Bot 4 barely survives. Mid 4 definitely not going to survive, but it's Simplicity, so unlucky. Still enough gems for a turn-in. For Simplicity for their second turn-in, but they're going to get zoned away most likely once again as WildHeart look to try and soak up for their third turn-in. Heh. Picket's turn-in is interrupted. Everyone else gets theirs in up in top. 22 gems. Just got off of Zergling. Vision is acquired, but it's too late. May's going to finish out bot lane. Make sure that 4 finally dies. That XP over time going to be so important here. Rooted, sleeping, silenced, feared. S. Lovely really got it there. Interrupt. Onto Cure, who's trying to turn in 22 gems. None of those gems, in fact, were turned in. Ice Wall denies the Dragon Arrow onto Stukov. Weary Day still going to get stunned out, though. There's that Colossus Smash going to try and set up for Masquerade. The turn-in still not capped yet. And they can't finish it. They're still getting interrupted. 27 on Lutano, 22 on Cure, who's run up. He's going to try and cap. Can they make it in for another interrupt? No, they can't. Cure gets his in, but it's still enough for the turn-in. It's just got a lot off of their bodies. Now all the gems are on Lutano, Masquerade, and Hosty. Lots of shots coming in, back and forth. You can see Pickett dropping a little low there. Will get topped up. But he's taking quite a few hits. They're looking good here, pushing their way in. They're trying to turn in themselves now. Zergling zoning them away. This is another turn-in for WildHeart. They need Zergling to get their gems in, those 6 gems available, only 3 needed. That is greedy. But I think Chromie's vision just expired. She might not know what's happening. They know now. Yrel's on the way. This is a rough position for WildHeart to be in because Simplicity were already up here in this top lane. Meaning this, they have to retreat out, but they baited them in. Stun, Colossus Smash, Fear, but it runs away. Dragon Arrow does not land again. The miscommunication. Lutano and Masquerade not on the same page here, but the boss was leashed. Webweaver spawning in quite close to the bases of WildHeart. Not able to find their full use there. Gul'dan go for the Fell Armor, getting that little bit of Spell Armor. And of course, the Rampant Hellfire. Getting a little bit of extra sustain in that way. Sorry, getting extra damage in that way. 10% more, up to 50%. Pushing their way in. Webweaver. Harassing at the gate. That's another big stun. And again, exactly like last game, the push of WildHeart is shut down by Mei rooting Varian, and because it's a Colossus Smash Varian, he just dies. This is the exact same thing that happened last game. The Masquerade Mei is putting on a clinic of how to deal with these Varians when they are at your gate. Just punishing them every time. Siege Camp grabbed in bottom lane. Finally, we will likely see a turn-in for another turn-in for Simplicity, as they've been denied so many times in a row. The Vision grabbed in bot lane, meaning Masquerade knows that they are clear to get in 24 of their 29 gems. Simplicity able to get their momentum back. they finally have something to push with. They're going to have to clear out bot lane and then choose where they want to push. But they finally got something. Piercing arrows now for Hanzo. 1 and a bit level lead for WildHeart, still in their favor. Team comms that we cannot listen to. I'm sure they're fun. Zergling just trying to interrupt rotations. Has that moves be big stun. Interrupts the charge. Interrupts Icing and Masquerade. Very nice. Very nice and very smart. They choose to pressure mid. Zergling jumps away. Doesn't want to get caught out of position. Dark Wave does land a little bit of damage. Nothing too severe for now. Big stun. Fear hits Hanzo, forces him in. Twilight Dream, Ice Wall. Hanzo killed off by the keep though. Dragon Arrow too early again. Can't land that thing. But mid-4 went down. Everyone else survived the fight with Masquerade. But that was a great kill on Hanzo. Just one man Horrify to guarantee that pickup as the team was split. But clear down. Webweaver down. They finish off the spiders. Masquerade. Charged it on. Good sleep. Allows to disengage. This is a good look right now for the side of Simplicity. They're back in it, but WildHeart, they defended well. And they're trying to set up more. They're trying to get onto Mei. Rooted, silenced, sleeped, focused, icing, running away. The charge, though, is enough. 10 gems dropped, 5 picked up. Sorry, that's 50. That's 30 gems dropped. Cure going to be focused down to try and get killed off, but they cannot finish him. Unaverted gets out. Zergling eating the Sandblast, preventing the kill. Boss gonna be started. There's no way Simplicity don't know, but the question is there anything they can do about it? Without Mei, can they contest? Cure gonna fight, and again, WildHeart using this as a bait. Dragon Arrow still doesn't land. Horrify comes out, forces Luciano back, but it's a retreat. They don't actually kill him here. The piercing scatter arrow is causing a problem. Doing huge amounts of damage. Vision gained again. Pinkin comes out again. Really trying here. The Great Shield Wall blocks Chromie damage, but he's taking so much DPS. They're still looking for it. Wrapping around, but now Masquerade's back. Twilight Dream, though, setting it up with Astral Communion. Great Ice Wall to try and turn it back in this game and get everyone else out, but Sonya got absolutely bodied there. Gems are lost. Pinkin backs away. Zergling guaranteeing the disengage. WildHeart slowly staggering deaths one at a time. They set themselves up. Boss, round 4. They're still here, though. Masquerade. Ice Wall in 24. Zergling causing harassment round the side. Masquerade has to choose between trying to steal the boss or trying to deal with Yrel. Seraphim comes out. Lots of focus. Has to drop the Ardent Defender. Boss is abandoned by Buds and Weary Day. Both the healers come in to save Zergling, but they still guarantee it. The other two able to finish the job. 9 seconds left until Sonya. Not enough gems returned. They just got them now, which once again means this boss will be mostly cleared by the time the objective starts. They'll be able to finish that off with very little trouble. Red Web Weavers on the way. Slamming away at that keep, but the keep will live. Sonya slamming away at the boss, saving it this time, but with the Web Weaver, that keep will finally fall. In fact, dies beforehand. Pinkin able to finish it off with that extra Colossus Smash damage. Colossus Smash, of course, increasing your auto attack damage just a tad. Able to help out that way. They pressure in mid lane. Bot lane also pressured. Web Weavers accumulating up in top lane with soon-to-be catapults. But look at that clear. Chromie plus Hanzo. Horrify again catches Hanzo, sends him the wrong way. They're really trying to just horrify Hanzo into their team, but he's in the wrong spot. They focus onto Mei. Dragon Arrow lands onto Varian, but Masquerade eats so much damage. He's so low, but he does live. They turn their attention onto that top Web Weaver. That's the last one down. Only one keep secured. This is a slow game, a game of attrition between these two teams. Unaverted. Staying alive, putting the pressure on, keeping the harassment going. Ice Wall. Splits the team. Gul'dan and Malfurion are kind of trapped, but Zergling is basically a one-man army at this point, keeping the team safe. Looks for Masquerade, but Masquerade is able to get that cryostasis off. But the Bruiser Camp was taken by WildHeart. Great Ice Wall, but even better zoning by Zergling. Zergling precious mid. Rest of the team puts their attention onto bot lane, keeps the harassment going there. Cure. Trading back and forth. Shots from Hosty. Zergling speared, has to honor defender, needs healing and lots of it. Dragon Arrow lands, Chromie Dragon Breath, the Sandblast doesn't though. Zergling stays alive. Barely out of range of that Sandblast. If that Sandblast had landed, Zergling would have been gone. This keep will die. Mid keep still under pressure. Zergling is literally running it in, letting his team set up to try and finish that off. They have no minions here, but they still are going to tank it. They trade the aggro to Pitkid, and that's all 3 keeps down. WildHeart really looking to take us to a game number 5 here. They refuse to drop. They refuse to give in. They keep on pressuring. They take control of that Bruiser Camp. Even more pressure. There's another Bruiser Camp down in bot lane they can try and grab as well. Zergling delaying, distracting, annoying. Just being a disruptive force. Gets the stun. Onto Masquerade, unaverted coming in. The corruption onto Cure is good. Colossus Smash from over the wall. Immediately into the Blizzard though. Saving the shield wall till every time that he gets locked down there. It's a smart play. Make sure you don't get caught. Make sure you don't get punished that way. Both teams trying to look for enough gems to channel. There's enough for simplicity. So we're currently seeing WildHeart just trying to prevent them from channeling in. Zergling and Cure, dueling back and forth. That's a 3-man Ice Wall. With 2-man Ice Wall, sorry. With Shatter, they don't land it again! Lutano, he can't find it. Masquerade and Lutano, they're just not on the same page. Yet another Dragon Arrow not finding purchase. There's been so many of those this game. 71 gems held by Simplicity, more than enough for the turn-in. Masquerade, able to escape the wrath of Zergling. They hold on, they just keep fighting. High King's quest was completed. Boss respawns. Not enough for a turn-in still for WildHeart. There's still plenty of gems away, over 30 gems away. Over 40 gems away. They get the kill onto Mei. Focusing down onto that Sonya who gets the ignore pain. Whirlwind staying alive. Heals from Legacy. Is it enough? No! They get the double! Zergling with the wraparound. Lutano's in trouble. Hosty able to avoid death for now, but he's still being chased. He will escape, but the core is under siege. Both damage dealers are up, but Lutano needs to live. They need for the defense. He's gone. That's just Chromie left versus all 5 members of WildHeart, and finally WildHeart find their moment. They finally find their opportunity to take game number 4 NA Arrows. We are heading to a game number 5, ladies and gentlemen. We are heading to a final match point between these two teams. The score is now 2-2. These teams won't give up. They refuse to go down. We're down to game number 4. NA Arrows, Cheer 100. Love you some NA Arrows. Very glad to hear Tiger's forgotten how to cheer. Thank you for the attempt, Tiger. I appreciate it. But in this case, wow. What a performance so far. The NA Arrows definitely added to the fiesta. 1 kill to 11. Simplicity lived that long in the game with 1 kill? What? I didn't even realize. I thought that game was a lot closer than it was. There we go, Tiger. Thank you for the 333 bits. Very appreciated. But wow, they lived that long with 1 kill? Hot damn, Simplicity are relentless. Talent-wise, again, Colossus Smash variant, very peculiar, but hey, it worked that time. Able to smash their way through May this time. But a lot more punishment on there, level 23 to 21 at the end of that game. Hot damn. Hot damn. Reminder that this is what they're fighting for, and a reminder of an update of where they can actually end up now. With this, right now, neither of these teams can enter tied first place. 30k and Storm Esports, they will remain first and second place. Whichever team wins now will take third, as they will be at a 6-2 ratio, which will be more than anyone else below them. The losing team will be at 5-2, meaning that they will take fourth. No matter what, both of these teams will be in the top 4, no matter what happens here today. The only way that could have changed is if they got 3-0'd, and they would have joined Oxygen if that was the case. But today, between the 2 grand finalists of last season, CCL champion of Season 1, Simplicity, and NGS Storm Division champions of Storm Division Season 2, WildHeart Esports, they are now set for the final battle of this second week of the group phase, setting themselves up to see who will stay in that top 3, who will go to that top 4. It comes down to this. Taking a drink. Taking a big drink. So, the main stream is going to be going on its break. We will not be, because this time I'm actually prepared and I have my water here in my lovely BlizzCon thing with my name on it, still from BlizzCon. Still stuck there. Water resistant sticker. Feels good. Love the hair. I'm glad you like it, Tiger. Feels good. Embracing the receding hairline and just committing to a mohawk with it. Might as well. Hell yeah. So, we're going to be getting ready. Mainstream is on its break. They say about 4 minutes 30. So we'll be back hopefully quite soon with that. I ain't going on the break because, like I said, I'm prepared. Feels good. We're going to be getting ready. BlizzCon, how the mighty have fallen. Quite. Very much quite. But who knows for the future? Who knows for the future? Maybe they'll bring it back. Especially if third parties are offering to run it for them. They still run StarCraft sometimes at BlizzCon. And StarCraft is all run by ESL and DreamHack now. Which reminds me, because StarCraft is now run by ESL DreamHack, which is one company now. It's all under ESL now. But that's all run by them, and it still happens at BlizzCon. So, DreamHack is having their first Heroes Community Cup, where they're having a big qualifier and then a final at their big online DreamHack event. If you support Heroes of the Storm, the biggest thing you can do to support them is when you see a big company that actually invests money in esports, like DreamHack, come along, the best thing people can do is to sign up and watch. Like, literally, even if you're an amateur team, signing up to improve their player numbers shows that people care. It sounds weird, but signing up and just losing round 1 is a really big deal to a lot of companies. Because it shows they're getting engagement. And if they get sponsors, it will be shown. And then watching the stream, of course, is a really big deal. I actually know a little bit about the talent behind the DreamHack. I can't tell you anything about it at the moment, but I can tell you that the talent is dope. It's really, really cool. And as such, we should have some really cool games coming up for it. There should be some really good games. Right now, it's just a load of CCL teams signing up, so we need more teams signed up. We need to start spreading that to the NGS people, letting them know that if they want it, I can't say anything, and if I was, I couldn't say anything, and if I wasn't, I wouldn't want to say anything. I'll put it that way. I'd be too salty if I wasn't to say anything, and if I was, I couldn't say anything because of the way that organization works. They have not announced the casters. As such, I can't or won't say anything. So there you go. Where do you find Where do I find 4 friends? There's a looking for group thing in NGS and Heroes Lounge. You can always go there. But yeah, showing up with players and watching the stream is very important as well. Showing them that they're going to get that marketing value, but getting those signups up is important. There's like 4 qualifiers or something like that. So that's 4 weeks. Maybe 1 or 2 games, depending on how well you do. You can play with your friends. Also, the prize pool is currently down to 4th. And a slight hint, there are currently only 5 teams signed up, and they're all CCL teams. The bracket, I don't know how they're going to seed it, but if they seed it random, which a lot of these tournaments do if they're not as experienced as the hero scene, if they seed it randomly, then if all the CCL teams are on one side of the bracket, then you have a chance of winning the 3rd or 4th place prize. Because if you just make it up one side of the bracket and lose in the semis or grand finals, you made $100 for your team, $20 each. So, depending on how they do the seeding, it could be free money. So, I would recommend it. Signing up is good, signing up is important, signing up would be fun, and also, it helps the scene. Watching the streams when they happen as well helps a lot. It helps when you do it for CCL. It helps when you do it for NGS. It helps you do it for Heroes Lounge. Watching the streams is important. Playing is important too, but a little bit less so. You gotta bring those numbers up. If want Heroes to keep going, we can't just watch one thing. Spreading out our viewership to show that everything is still important is important. Making sure we keep all those numbers high, not one thing. Because if there's one thing, they look at that and be like, what's successful about that? Like CCL, if you were to look at CCL's numbers compared to the rest of the scene, you'd look at that and you would analyze it and you're like, why is this different? And the answer is grubby. That is the reason that stream gets more viewers than a lot of the other streams for Heroes. He's a good caster, he's a fantastic community figure, and he always has high viewership, and he always raids his stream over there after he finishes streaming. So as such, it keeps the numbers high. So keeping that in mind is important, but that's what some sponsors will look at and be like, why is this bigger than others? And then they might not pick stuff up that doesn't have grubby on it. So getting viewership up on other stuff is really important as well, so that you can show that Heroes is still loved and appreciated. Caldor also keeps it high, and EU. Stuff with Caldor on it keeps it high, which is why when paid casters come along, when paid events come along, they hire Caldor for the EU side, because he is the one who keeps the viewership the highest. That's how it go. Alright, so mainstream's back from its break. And we will be good. And hopefully I don't get actually that high a viewership. I only get, I don't get that high viewership. Like my stream right now, it's 30 viewers. I do casting because I love it, and sometimes people are generous and they help me survive. Which is really appreciated, by the way. Subscribe to Twitch Prime, or just a regular sub, or donate if you want to help me, you know, keep casting. Because I need to afford food and drink. Last map, by the way, is going to be Cursed Hollow. Going to be picked up, but I don't have actually that high a viewership, which means I don't get picked up on that basis. I get picked up on recommendations of other casters or people who actually have knowledge about the scene when they look at casters and go, all right, who's actually got talent and is going to make this sound good. That's why I got picked up for DreamHack. That's why I got picked up for HGC. It wasn't because of my high viewership, because if it was high viewership, they would have picked someone else for casting all of the HGC stuff I was picked up. I was picked up on merit. But unfortunately, merit does not always equate to viewership once the people who pay you the money disappear. So we just got to deal with what we have. Was that a slip? What did I say? What did I slip with? With DreamHack? No, because I got hired for DreamHack in the past as well. Because I did a mid-season brawl. I did the DreamHack summer. I did DreamHack summer for. I did DreamHack summer for the DreamHack All Stars for Turtle Beach. That was 2-3 times. I've done DreamHack Tours and Valencia. DreamHack's honestly my favorite company to work with. No joke. They're always sweet to you. They're always kind and caring, which I really appreciate. There was one time, I have one bad experience with DreamHack, and that was when they dropped us off in France, and it was a disaster getting to the hotel. Like, we had to wait around like 2 hours before our shuttle, and then we nearly left Dread behind because his train got cancelled because there was a bomb scare. It was big unluck. I like France. I don't like France's airport. I don't like Paris de Gaulle, or whatever it's called. Paris de Gaulle? Something like that. Either way, Cursed Hollow, picked by Simplicity. WildHeart go for the first pick. But yeah, I like France. Paris de Gaulle, that's it. I like it. I like the train station. So that's a good one. I like Paris. I like Paris. Paris has always been a delight every time I've been there, the actual city. That's really lovely. I went to the Asmodee offices when I worked for them for a little bit, doing freelance stuff for them. That was a delightful area, very nice. Versailles is beautiful. So yeah, I like France. France is nice. I'm not going to repeat that because it's rude. British Special says he likes France. What's the world become? I'm a globalist. We're going to see WildHeart Esports get started. Mene is hilarious. Just ridiculously hilarious. I love it. So, WildHeart Esports. First pick, first ban. Game 5 of this best of 5 series. No matter what, the games will end after this. Hogger is the first ban. It's a very smart ban against Simplicity, due to how the reaction comes in from Lutano swapping onto the Hogger, giving Cure more freedom. It's a solid ban. It removes a lot of the freedom and flexibility of Simplicity. Makes a lot of sense. Zeratul is banned away. Zeratul removed. They're really focusing on Cure now a little bit as well. Looking good so far. With Sonya banned away. And we see WildHeart. They go back to Uther. Taking the risk. Excuse me. Very interesting. They're giving it another go. Let's see if they can close it out this time. They've struggled to make it work. Want to make a joke about English person calling myself a globalist? The correct joke there would be taking my ancestors' work and finishing the job. But no, I'm definitely not interested in that kind of globalism. As we're going to see Malfurion and Medivh picked up. Simplicity, this time getting Medivh. This is a best of 5. This series will be ending after this map, no matter what. Rule Britannia. Britannia's on the way. Oh, God. Medivh and Malfurion. Gives them they stole away the big portal counter, so that's smart. And they don't react how you maybe expect. They don't go for the Mei to try and deny portals. They still go for Diablo. They just go for a much heavier burst comp themselves. This also does mean that it's going to be a main healer Uther. That is revealed straight away. There is a chance of running Uther in the off lane. Just a little bit more unlikely. His wave clear is a little slow. He doesn't die. He certainly doesn't win the off lane. He just doesn't lose it. Genji. Banned out here. Genji would have been a smart choice for WildHeart, so I do like that. It's a smart ban here. With Uther on your line, Genji becomes really scary. Especially with all his squishy backliners. Simplicity now. They have that Medivh. The biggest Medivh combo hero has been removed. Perhaps they pick Mei for themselves. Let's see. It's going to be a stolen Yrel. And they do pick the Mei. Hey! So Yrel for the off lane. Stealing it away from Zergling. And they pick up the Mei. It's been working really well for them so far. So it makes sense. Their Mei games have been pretty consistently winning. So a solid pickup there. It still works. How do WildHeart deal with that? They pick up D.Va, percentage damage. And Hanzo, a little bit of percentage damage as well. WildHeart, their final map. They just choose to go pretty standard. Ooh, Sergeant Hammer as the main ranged damage. How's the tasty road medicine, motherfucker?
Amazing rule. Britannia singing 6, 5 tenths.
6, 5 tenths? 6, 5 tenths. 6.5 out of 10. Oh, okay, got it. 6, 5 tenths. Thanks, text to speech. Thank you, Saltacoon. Very appreciated. Oh my god, that's so bad. Yay! 6, 5 temps out of 6, 5 temps, everybody. No comeback mechanics. Oh my god, that's great. That's superb. Alrighty, so thank you very much for the donation, Saltacoon. That is very appreciated. We're going to be getting ready to head into game number 5. The Sergeant Hammer trying to bully the lanes here. They've got the extra sustain. They've got that unstoppable to try and stop Diablo hard engaging on them. Will it be enough? We'll have to see. Maybe we'll go for Dragon Strike to try and counteract that. We'll have to see. Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading in to game number 5 of 5. Who is going to win as we are underway? On the left-hand side, Season 1 champion, Simplicity. Lutano on that Sergeant Hammer. Hosty on Medivh. Cure on the Rail Legacy. On the Malfurion and Masquerade. Going to be playing that May. On the right, WildHeart, Buds on Falstad, Pitkid on Diablo, Weary Day on the Uther, Unaverted on Hanzo, and Zergling on that Diva. They are your Storm Division champions from NGS, second place from CCL. And they're looking to try and get their win over Simplicity. Let's get this going. Maelstrom Shells, love it, from Lutano. It's the quickest, effective, actual straight building killer if you're just targeting buildings, and also, it's the only one of his level 1 talents that works outside of siege mode. Nice little defense matrix strat. Try and lower the damage that way. But Maelstrom Shells does a lot of damage. Can Hammer take the portal while sieged? Yes, if she has Hover Siege. If Hammer has Hover Siege, she can go through the portal. Root from Malfurion gets him out of danger. Portal was dropped, but Lutano does not get it. Gank attempted by WildHeart, no kill. Meantime, Buds and Cure taking a couple trades back and forth. Cure coming out ahead on those. Lutano clears it up. 9 stacks on Medivh, by the way, just from defending Diablo. They put so much effort on defending Hammer, sorry. They put so much effort on killing Sergeant Hammer that Diablo and Pickett of Weary Day just became a lot of stacks for Medivh, up to 10 already. Diva going to start working on that siege camp. Will anyone mirror from the side of Simplicity? They don't really have a camp clearer. That's the issue with this composition. It's still kind of Hammer. Masquerade, poke it away. Did I just say Sir Hammer, or did I hear it correctly? I'm pretty sure I said Sergeant Hammer. But if I did say Sir Hammer, my apologies. I do not want to misgender Sergeant Hammer. Hosty. Keeping the vision, and there we go. Sergeant Hammer going to make their way up. They're going to grab the experience from that top lane. Lutano working away on that Legacy, pulling all the aggro, because Hammer can't exactly dodge it in that form. Working their way through. Oh, for their rank. That's fair, Hosty. Portal is dropped, but as a big stun, there's 16 stacks! Save the stacks! Portal used. Hosty gets out. Quick port back to base. Siege tactics available for Lutano now. Has that unstoppable to help deal with Hammer. There is a counter on the side of WildHeart Esports available for this, and that is if we see Siege tactics active, Burn Gust, and suddenly Hammer's alone. It's an old style of play. It's an old style of play, but it could work. If not, Hinterland Blast will get her. Portaling from the Bruiser camp. Hammer immediately sieges up the Hosty Hammer combo. Medivh Hammer is a classic combo that does work really well. First Tribute going to be spawning. Much quicker rotation out of WildHeart. Cure going to be backing away. Much better positioning from WildHeart here. Looks like Simplicity might just not want to engage so far, which would be sensible. Diva remeching. Staying safe here. Hammer got a little bit of damage onto mid. Here comes Diablo. Good vision using the mines. The knockback doesn't even burn siege tactics. Here comes Zergling. Good body block, actually. Lutano is getting body blocked out. Portal has to be used. And you can see WildHeart. They're going to be getting very aggro onto this Sergeant Hammer, and they're going to try and punish it. One mistake, one slip-up from Simplicity. WildHeart going to be able to kill this Hammer. Lutano might be in trouble if he's not careful. Pickett trying to put on the pressure. There's that Hover Siege. So good now. With Portal now usable in Siege mode, Lutano is going to be so hard to kill. hit the Nitros secret weapon. Hand of protection. Full fire stop build for Diablo makes sense. None of the other builds are really going to be too useful against this Sergeant Hammer. Cure staying out of danger for now. Big charge. Quickly dashing. Quickly backing out. Zergling already channeling in though. Masquerade. Able to interrupt. Single auto. This will go on for a while. Diablo coming in here. That's going to force Masquerade back up, meaning Medivh's going to have to be the one to rotate in. Portal dropped. They get the interrupt. Legacy and Lutano both come through. Root is there. There's the sleep. Hammer Portal went back through the portal and ran into the entire rest of the enemy team who followed them to that portal. Nicely done. Great Blizzard, though. They lose the D.Va Mech and Hanzo on the other side. Setting that up beautifully. Masquerade with the great wraparound, and now suddenly Diablo's in serious trouble. Had a protection. Pickett on the run. You're becoming quite a few Medivh stacks. 38 there. They're trying to lock down Zergling, trying to block him for the escape. Portal is used, and Zergling will fall. 39 stacks for Medivh. One death is all it could take to ruin all of it. How good is the extra range talent at level 7? If I want to hit people from Narnia. I assume you mean Sergeant Hammers there, Ulana. The answer is not very, because you give up on actual positioning. The range talent is useful if you 100% know for a fact, with a shadow of a doubt, that the enemy is going to fight you in a certain area. In which case, yes, it can be useful. But the fact is, the enemy can disengage, and 2, you can't dodge anything. You can't make any of those you can't chase, you can't re-engage. If the enemy backs up and heals, you can do nothing about it. Hover Siege is just better in pretty much every way. Going for the napalm coming in for Lutano. Going for extra wave clear. Gonna back away. Unsieging. Nice and safe this time. There are times to pick the graduating range. It's just not very good. Good gust, but it's not stun. Cure still able to get away. Good Blizzard again by Masquerade. Lutano portals to the team. Getting slowly healed up by Legacy. Portals being used to get themselves some Raven familiars. Cure getting kind of bullied. He's being chased down quite a few times now. Another great Blizzard. Dragon Arrow parting the Red Sea. This time it's Unaverted's turn. As Masquerade gets the Force of Will, tanking through. Self-destruct is available for Zergling. Now Pitkin and Zergling are here. They have the zoning capabilities. And that's going to be the tribute going over to WildHeart. 2-1 in their favor. Setting themselves up for the next tribute to become the first curse of the game. A little bit of harassment from Hosty. Poke it away as best he can. They're just poking so much, trying to get something onto WildHeart, but they can't do so. In fact, WildHeart are going to be the ones to re-engage here. Micro missiles is available. Good route onto Diablo, but he's woken up by the Bruiser Cam. Masquerade not here to zone for the team. Actually, quite zoned out. Cure from behind, though. Surprise Cure. Self-destruct onto the point, but the cap has not been finished yet. Leyline hits absolutely no one. Ice Wall casts the team in 2, but Gust to try and re-secure. May can't get her back onto the point. The Ice Wall blocking her, and Legacy is stun-locked to death here. Taken out. The only death so far in this fight. Lutano is low. Good stun from Cure to try and get the rest of the team out, but no, Lutano goes down. And WildHeart gain momentum. They steal the Bruiser, and they're going to try and take the boss. Some hammers are sharper than some knives. Some people don't take care of them. Love it. Going to be seeing the boss picked up. A little bit of mech damage, but Zergling survives. As the channel comes in, this could be boss and a tribute if they can just get Masquerade and Hosty to go away. Portal comes in. Rest of the team potentially ready to rejoin. Hammer and Malfurion are on the way from bot. Ice Wall splits the team in 2, but wow, that triple shot coming in from D.Va completely zones Masquerade out. Here comes Cure, though. Hammer from over the wall, interrupting with the napalm. This is what Simplicity are going to be very good at, delaying. But while this is happening, the boss is absolutely slapping their bot 4. Speed boost cooldown reduction from Sergeant Hammer. Getting that little bit of extra mobility. Uh-oh, that's a little bit of a rough siege up there. Weary Day could rotate round that. Masquerade is dueling Falstad here. Masquerade is just not joining with the team at this point. Masquerade is trying to like take 1v1s versus Falstad as we see the focus onto Zergling. Dragon Arrow this time lands. Lutano in trouble. Leyline comes out. They portal away right into the boss route. Triple Strike comes out. Drops the siege tactics. Makes it past the boss. Masquerade gets away too. And Simplicity will all live. But the tribute and the curse goes over to WildHeart. And I'd love to see Masquerade just being a little bit further, a little bit close to the team. He's always seemed to be dueling Falstad or something. Masquerade with the team. Ice Wall comes out. This is like one of the first full 5 fights that we have seen. Lightning Breath coming out. Hanzo already dead. Buds making their way in. Weary Day barely escaping thanks to Gust. Big Kid is certainly going to die. But Simplicity, this is what can happen when you fight with Mei in the team. Protects the hammer. Gonna be seeing that coming in. Top gonna absolutely get wrecked here. Top boss is available, and looks like we're probably gonna see WildHeart begin to pick that up. Simplicity. Oh, they're coming. Medivh sees. Leyline, 7 seconds out. It might not be there in time, but they have Mei. Ice Wall will be up. 2 seconds. Leyline will be up. Hosty, does he do it? Does he do it? No. Not a brave bird. Not worth the attempt. We see Simplicity back it away. They decide against the aggro play. Simplicity starting on that siege camp, but here comes WildHeart being hyper aggro again. That is a good angle for Lutano. That's a really good position. But surprise, Buds! Buds comes in, drops a big chunk of damage, short range Dragon Arrow from under Vertigo to try and take them out. Gust splits the team in two, but Leyline allows Masquerade to back up. Both teams splitting each other up there. The Siege Giants actually going to help them clear this out because they got stuck on the members of WildHeart, so they're going to stay here. They will die fast, though, but they do get a couple hits onto the boss. Zergling getting CC'd to death, but Aid of Force of Will, and we'll probably get out fine now. Divine Shield even going to be burned. Cure still chasing. They sent her attention onto Unaverted. He split off from the rest of the team and got rooted. Instead, the chase comes in. Lutano trying to chase in with the speed boost. Can they set them up? The micro missiles slowing them down. Masquerade from the side. Cure making their way to the portal. Route 1 from Malfuria. Diablo! Lightning Breath to try and stay alive. Cure drops the CC, but he doesn't stun him, but the damage is enough. Zergling will get out. They're just going to burn the Force of Will and the Cryostasis. Falstad is backdooring. Currently setting up a minion wave in that bottom lane to try and cause a distraction. They portal past the fort to try and catch Weary Day. Hosty poking in and out. Looks like they're going to be forced to back away, though. They can't tank anymore. Nice use of the divert power. Very smart. Try and just deny Hammer that damage, so that extra radius is really going to help. First fort for Simplicity. Levels basically equal. But that's the first fort of the game Simplicity have been able to get. WildHeart, all 3 forts and a keep. WildHeart are looking very ahead at this point. In everything but experience. Tribute. Looks like this one will just go over to Simplicity. WildHeart just can't get close enough in time. Too much zoning. I would love to see the talents. We haven't seen them in a while. Because I want to see Medivh's stacks. I can't remember if he finished. I'm pretty sure he's done. But I can't remember if he died earlier and lost them. I'm pretty sure he's done. So, WildHeart going to be making their way. Going to steal the vision. He finished, no losses. Cool, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. A little bit of pressure being applied back and forth, both teams. Trying to find the angle on the other. Simplicity the one set the trap. There we go. Yep, it's done. Every questing talent is done except for Diablo. Who is getting there. Cure wrapping around bullying Zergling. Hand of Protection came out. It's a percentage damage scatter arrow, by the way, for Unaverted, ready to do high damage output. Zergling gets Divine Shield and Dragon Arrow quickly cleansed out on Cure with the latest Cure from Malfurion. Zergling dashes away, but the portal keeps them chasing. They look for Unaverted, who gets away, doesn't get rooted. Double ley line. Falstad is on the back line, causing grief, causing distraction. Seashine in bot lane. Falstad in top lane. Tribute for WildHeart. Simplicity will have to let that tribute go. WildHeart will now be on the defensive. As they wait for that tribute to spawn. Not going to go for another invade here. Bud's going to steal this camp, nice and sneaky-like. Keep the pressure on. And they don't actually go defensive, they go in for a boss invade. Unaverted dodges the blizzard. This was predicted by Simplicity, but is it enough? Falstad flying in, joins the team. They have Gust. If they need to get out, if they need to try and get away and leave, there's a great use of Cryostasis to body block here. That's a self-destruct. It's going to hit Cure, who absorbs it. Arden Defender saves the day. Siege Giants split attention, but they're finally going to start focusing onto that keep. This tribute finally picked up by Buds. And this boss still being taken. They still have Gust. Zergling tanking through, but focus down. Has to back up. He does not have good to go. They get made, though. That's the focus. Lutano is suddenly in the wrong neighborhood. Dragon Arrow finds nothing. Hosty sniped with the scatter arrows. Gus splits the team in two as we see Malfurion taken out. And WildHeart, again, find their opportunity. Find the kills, and that might be game, ladies and gentlemen. Just this very sudden fight coming out of nowhere, finding their opportunity. Buds channels away at that tribute, but immediately the root stun lockdown onto the Diva, but it's Diablo who finds the Masquerade and just eats the percentage damage of the Hanzo is so high, destroying them there. Again, Hanzo Malfurion wiping out Medivh, and that is it. They couldn't sustain. That is game number 3 and game number 5 and a 5-man D-Shield for good measure. And WildHeart Esports take the game and the series. They go 3-2, taking 3rd place in HeroesCCL at week 2. WildHeart take the victory, revenge for season 1, and show that right now they are the stronger team. Back and forth between those two teams. Very strong. Very, very strong. Well, that is the end of today's game. 7 kills to 8. So close. Showing how even these two teams were at the end. But WildHeart, they had that keep down. It took one fight, choosing to ignore the tribute and delay Simplicity. They get the tribute and rotate back in and look for a fight anyway. WildHeart's aggression pays off. And with that, they take the win. And with that, I take my leave. Thank you all for watching today. I will not be streaming the games live next week. They will be happening at some point during the week still on this Twitch, so make sure to follow to see when I go live with those. So make sure to pay attention to that. I will be casting them live in 2 weeks' time, so make sure that you tune in for those. I just have stuff to do on weekends, so I've tried to split my attention between the two, where I can cast live one week and cast on replays the next week. I'm doing my best with what I can. So, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Make sure to drop a sub or a donation if you did. If you can't afford to, make sure to spread the word about this stream so that people know that there is this option available, and that would be very appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, my voice is shot. I need to go write the news now. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all had a wonderful evening, and I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful night.